in this format, not only for the Firebirds, but for the Black Caps, left-hander. He is a highly skilled player, and we're going to see so much more of him, not only domestically, internationally. And at the other end, this is the form player, Finn Allen. He has been the Dream11 game changer in 2 of the 3 games when he took on the Knights at Bay Oval. He got 90, got out and played beautifully. Strong hitter of the ball. The confidence will be high. And the Knights know they'll have to get off to a good start with the ball to keep the Firebirds, who were wanting to bat anyway, even though they lost the toss. They're at home. There's a good crowd building up. Beautiful setting, beautiful scene, and beautiful weather, Rebecca Rolls, for Dream11 Super Smash.
Kia ora anō, Craig, and kia ora koutou for everyone tuning in on Spark Sport. Always love the Basin, especially on a good day. And Northern Knights, we're pleased to see Mitch Santner back. I feel like they're just missing one bowler. Noish Sodhi, obviously, and you know, they've been playing well. They've had some good results, but I think he'll bring a lot in all 3 areas of the game. Yeah,
I think it's a really good point. Just that all-round ability, also the experience in that middle order. Right, we're getting underway. Scott Kugelein's got the new ball. Finn Allen about to face it. Dream11 Super Smash. Oh, swing and a miss. Gee whiz. If you want to know what the tactic's going to be, we've just seen it then.
Well, if you're Finn Allen, do you do anything differently, given the way you're going at the moment, like a train? Bit of width there. Yeah, clearly thought that's there to be hit. Probably a little bit early on it, but I don't think he'll stop.
Key part will be the surface, and in the game between the Blaze and the Hinds, they talked about it holding a little bit. It is a U surface. It was good carry then through to Seifert. One slip in place. Deep square leg. Helped on its way. No one back there, so Finn Allen, he carries on where he finished off at Bay Oval.
This is great batting here, no fear. Obviously, Finn Allen, width the other way this time. He gets inside it, helps it over. Backward square, sort of fine leg for 4. Great shot.
Well, he played so many of those actually against the Aces here on the 24th of December. So it's actually an area that he likes to access. So it's a miss from Kugelein.
Defensive that time from Finn Allen. What I also like about that shot is he goes with the bounce. He doesn't try and bully the bouncer. You see some people trying to force it, but he's like, no, it's got enough height on it. All I need to do is just add to the pace, really. And he did that, helped himself.
Yeah, if a bowler's going to give you pace, you might as well use it. Don't try and fight it. And we're seeing that more and more international cricket. I think of the international games that were played at Eden Park. Bouncier surface. They want you to try and fight the bounce and go against the bounce and pace. Slip taken out now into mid-wicket, so more defensive straight away from Devcich. Wow, let's use that. Look at the hand speed. Wow, that's off stump.
This is impressive from Allen. You're right, Craig. That hand speed is what every batsman would covet. Just slashes at it. If you make contact with that, it is going to the boundary no matter what.
Well, he's done exactly what you said, Rebecca. Again, he's gone to the leg side, but he's looking to access backward point. So he didn't try and thump that through the cover region. Doesn't confidence make such a difference in this game?
You know, you've got to use it where you've got it, that's for sure, because it can disappear pretty quickly, as we know. But just using that pace, as you say, and so important with the improvisation shots as well. You can't go against the pace and bounce with them.
Third man's come up, deep backward point on the boundary. Big boundaries here at the Basin Reserve. Oh, he's missed out. Again, though, looking to get inside the ball.
Yeah, that looks uncomfortable. But still trying to do the same thing, get inside the line, help it. He knows where his gaps are. Early foot movement there.
Let's look at the boundary size, and especially to the offside at the moment. Am I wrong, Rebecca, to say that I reckon it's 80 metres?
Weren't you talking about surveying yesterday?
Oh, I moved on. I reckon that's 80 metres.
It looks big.
I'm just trying to think how far I could drop punt a rugby ball.
No run.
8 off the first over. You'd say we were yesterday at University of Otago Oval. The smaller boundary was on one side, but that was about 50 metres. The smaller boundary here is on the scoreboard side. It's probably, I'd say that's 70. And the other side, as we look out now to the backman, I reckon that's 80 metres.
Well, I'd be interested to know how far you could drop punt a rugby ball, whatever that is. I think you mean, is it a drop kick?
Looking at the top run scorers, and for today, George Worker with his fantastic 100 yesterday against the Otago Volts. Clarkson 166, Devsich 160. He has also got 100. And then Matt Baker at the top. Tickney yesterday was good. Hamish Bennett on 4, early stages. Matt Fisher will open up. He will have that big leg side to his advantage, but he's got left-hander on strike.
Conway straight into his work there, just nudges it into the leg side for a comfortable single. A little short from Fisher, first ball up.
Again, the lengths that they bowl will be something to keep an eye on. We saw yesterday a lot shorter, and I think the Stags were about 1 metre fuller on average than the Bolts, and maybe that was the difference. Matt Fisher likes to run, he's a shoulder bowler, he can generate good pace.
Particularly while the new ball is still really hard. It's that'll make a difference to these lengths, and talk a lot about the hard length that these bowlers aim for. That'll be important today too.
Right on.
It's a slow ball. It is a U surface. One thing I always talk about, like you do see teams and captains. This year the Super Smash has been a lot more defensive. Again, that's the off cutter. But maybe there's an opportunity. I talk about the Basin Reserve being a gully catching ground. It looks like Clark at backward point on the offside. You could just about bring one of them up as a catcher, because if it beats him, it's going to go for 4. Just gives you that attacking option. So that's good carry.
Really good carry, and Finn Allen backed away to give himself space, and possibly didn't need to on this occasion because it was wide enough anyway from Fisher, and got a little wider. And Allen might have been better to stand his ground, but given the way he's batting, it is pretty hard to be critical.
Yeah, he was on the move a wee bit. He wasn't still. Devsich really running the changes. The point sweeper has gone back now, and deep square leg. It just about changes every ball.
Right on.
Well, that's the difference in the bounce, isn't it, when you try and bully it? And, you know, you can see the shot he was trying to play there. Unsuccessful in getting a run, but good power and good hand speed still.
Great to see Mitch Sattler back in the lineup. They might not have been expecting him to play. He's got no number. That guy. See, even then, we spoke in the build-up with Katie about the experience. So he'll help Anton Devsich out. And even then, he's just telling the guy on the boundary to come in a few. There'll be a wide, and Seifert does well.
Great take. Tim Seifert wide for sure. And Sattler, of course, captained T20 team against the West Indies. Well wide, that one. Very athletic from Seifert.
And it is really tough. It can be a really lonely place as a captain. And again, he's making changes. He's thinking about the field. Having that extra experience out there just to look at the angles. Just a bit of confirmation at times of what you're doing. This time, straight down the ground. Wow, just stand and deliver and admire.
And that one's just about ended up in the tunnel. Finn Allen, stand and deliver is exactly what he's done here. Set himself. As you know, Craig, a lot of power comes from legs and hips, and look at Finn Allen's position here. Just stands tall. Big face of the bat, check drive. See you later.
Slow ball. This time it's slapped over cover. Couple of bounces and skip across the rope. Great way to end the over. 2 gone, 20 without loss. Was out in the middle for the Dream11 toss. And Michael Bracewell lost it, and I think he was pleasantly surprised when he was asked to bat. Anton Divsic is mic'd up. We're going to try and catch up with him after this. Ball to series feeling after a couple of overs. Oh, that's just timing. I don't think he got that properly either, Conway.
No, it definitely looked a little inside edge of the bat, or inside half of the bat. But Devon Conway punishes that length, doesn't he? That's what was slightly missed there, coming around the wicket.
Well, let's head out to the middle. Anton Divsic with the mic on. Early thoughts, Devi, on what's going on?
Yeah, it's a little bit slow, to be fair, which we kind of knew. We just got to try and hone in and get ahead of the batsman here.
When it comes to the plans, I mean, the last over I think you changed the field about 3 or 4 times. Is that pre-scripted, or you just trust your instinct and what you're looking to do?
Nah, it's all based on gut instinct, mate. Like, Finn's obviously in good nick, so you know, when you're in good nick, you tend to look at the field and know what's going to be bowled. So if we can double bluff and do all those sort of things to try and get ahead of him in the over, it's probably our best chance of getting him out. Same field. On the one. I want you on the one. Cover on the one.
Oh, there's an example again, getting inside the line. He hasn't got the timing just right.
Definitely some premeditation there by the looks. Just gets in early, doesn't he? Gets into position. And tries to get behind the ball, hit it on the back.
Yeah, mate, it's very slow. If he nuts it, it's a good shot. Hey? Up to you, bro. Up to you. Yeah, Bob, Cop, go Cop. That's a boy, mate. Lovely work there.
Nicely bowled. Can you just explain what you meant there, Anton, about if he hits the nut, it's well played?
Well, you know, obviously no pace in the wicket. If we're bowling slow balls on it and he hits it well, that's the toughest shot and toughest option that he can play. If we put pace on the ball, especially to opening batsmen who generally like pace on the ball, it's probably easier for them to hit. So if they get a hold of one that's a slow ball and it's gripped and they hit it well, it's just fair play. You can't do much about that. Conway's a good example as well. He needs pace on ball.
Again, that is that slow ball. It's a good thing you say there, Anton, because often, you know, we get beaten up a bit in this game and bowlers get beaten up, but batters are allowed to play good shots, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's, you know, if they're consistently doing that off good balls, then you just tip your hat at the end of the day, and it's, you know, it's not, you actually can't do much about it, especially with the dimensions of the fields that we play on. Like, we've got one toy boundary out to the right here and one big boundary, so it's bloody hard for the bowlers in New Zealand. And, you know, every international bowler that's come over here has struggled for the first few games at least, just getting used to it.
Wow, he's crunched that. That is a cracking shot. Just what Divsic was talking about. Thanks, Anton. We'll let you carry on with the duties.
Thanks, mate.
3 overs gone. 33 without loss. Three overs gone. I'll tell you what, Finn Allen raced to 25 off 14. Interesting, he said there, the toy boundary, Rebecca. We're just talking about how big they are and talking about running 2s and 3s.
Yeah, well, you're planning your drop kick, weren't you?
Well, no, what I plan is at 3 of them, 3 times to get to the end.
Maybe he's kicking the round ones. I think that might be a bit easier.
Right, and I didn't want to ask him because I might get myself in trouble for asking for tactics, but the new part for Anton Devcic in his equation when playing today is how he uses Mitch Sackner and how early he's going to use him. Often bowls the first over for the Black Caps, so he needs one of his best players to bowl a really good over now. And we know a couple of things he'll do. He can either be wide and slow, but he's also just about bowls like left arm in swing.
Well, the Blaze used that wide slow ball really effectively, and what Devcic needs here, particularly when it comes to Finn Allen, is a bit of a game changer, isn't it?
Lovely, lads. Lovely, boys. Lovely set.
That one was a bit slower, but he does have basically it's just an in-swinger for a left armer, or an out-swinger to the left-hander.
Well, and why, if you're Mitch Sackner, would you put any more pace on it than you have to on this pitch? As we've already heard from Anton Devcic, it's slower than expected.
Lovely, Dev.
The other thing is that, from memory, I don't think Devcic has bowled in the last 2 games. So again, he might come into play with the left arm, slow. No Sodhi. They really have missed him just from an attacking point of view and being able to pick up wickets in the middle.
Yeah, I remember asking him about it on the mic. Bay over was pretty coy, as was Dean Brownlee another time. So I'm not sure it's in the plan at all, but these are the kinds of games in these conditions where if you need something different and your plans aren't sort of coming to fruition, you do turn to a Devcic.
Well, this is the matchup I'm looking forward to. How will Allen, youth, confidence, take on New Zealand's #1 T20 bowler when it comes to slow? Should be 2. That looked a bit quicker.
It did, and Finn Allen immediately using his feet. It's his plan, obviously, to Mitchell Sackner. He doesn't want to be dictated to by Sackner. He would have planned for this before he put his pads on today.
So will we see that real slow one and wider one? Mid-off is back. Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's just turn our hands around, play left-handed and bang it on the bank. What can this man not do?
This is a phenomenal shot. It's hard to do when you're playing the right way around, let alone just switch hitting one of the best T20 bowlers around. Thanks very much. You haven't got a fielder out there. It doesn't matter anyway. I'll give it to the guy in the bank.
Go on here, boys.
Yeah, just finding the game a bit easy right-handed. I'll just have a go left.
Lovely, lads. Lovely, lads.
Fetched it a long way too.
I don't reckon he got any of that too. I reckon it hit the end of the bat. A little bit slower, and it's going to be wides. Seifert won't be that happy with that. They're going to get back for 3-2, so that's good running. All of a sudden, the Black Cap, maybe one of the key bowlers, has gone for 13 already off his over.
I actually thought this came off something, but my ears are playing tricks on me. You're right, Seifert. And we want his feet to be a little sharper than that, being hard on him again. But I know it's something he's working very, very hard on and is making lots of improvements.
Lovely, lads. Lovely, boys.
What this does just allows Conway to just fit into that.
Sets. Come on in, boys.
Not a supporting role, because he doesn't do that. He plays the ball on merit, but he doesn't have to be extravagant. He doesn't have to play high risk.
Oh.
Ooh, the sweet one for 4. What a fantastic over for the Firebirds. 17 off it. They're off to a flyer. 4 gone, and they bring up the 50.
Well, Conway doesn't have to get things going, but he decides to anyway with a very good sweep shot.
Emma?
It was quite fast through the air, and I wondered if he'd just beaten him, but got enough on it. Conway gets in on the boundary action.
Easy from up here, as we've said many times, Rebecca, but you know, I just sometimes it's a really tough thing for a spinner to do, is to take pace off and actually go slow through the air.
Zach Gibson into the attack as Firebirds are officially off to a flyer, 50 off 4 overs.
It's a slow ball again. And again, the trend in this Dream11 Super Smash, in the first 6 overs, teams are just going so hard now. They just really want to get themselves ahead of the game. And if you're none down, it's sound the sirens, everyone's going. Nicely bowled, really well bowled.
That is well bowled from Zach Gibson, who's been impressive so far in this Dream11 Super Smash. Finn Allen advances towards him, he just beats him for pace. Looked like yorked him.
A little bit of tail in, just a little bit.
Not sure Finn Allen will be too bothered about that. Just reset, go again.
It's a long on back and deep mid wicket, so maybe the full straight one is the order of the day for the slow ball.
Got a full straight one back over his head, fielded by Mitchell Santner, so you could say bowling to the field perhaps.
Well, based on what Anton Devcich said, and from what was seen, I would say 80% of the deliveries could be cutters, slow balls, back of the handers, all those. And very rarely will they actually go pace on, unless it's maybe just the Yorker.
I think I just picked up Devcich saying off cutter, eh? It was a good rumour anyway.
Oh, it's an off cutter. It's nearly cut off one of the fielder's hands. He hit it that hard. Someone's done brilliantly there. They've saved 2. Just trying to find out who's ringing his hand.
Absolutely, this was 4 for all money. Really good. Just got the lamb chop on it there.
Joe Walker, I think, was that? Yeah, it was. That's a brilliant stop. He's done well too, not to rub the hand. Amazing hand speed. Flat and hard, square legs come up.
Well, Finn Allen, hand speed for sure. I think of some of the best batsmen, their hand speed around the world. Brendan McCullum comes to mind. This guy's got that in spades. Just goes at it. Hit through the ball. Give himself the best chance of dispatching boundaries, and that's what he operates in at the moment.
I'm trying to work out where you'd bowl from. At the moment, from what we're seeing, it's so tough. He's going to call 2. I don't think he's needing to worry about it. He's got 4. Back-to-back boundaries to finish the 5th over. It's a flyer for the Firebirds. 62 without loss.
Oh, Mitchell Santner looks like he might have copped a scratch there in the abdomen region, but Finn Allen just carries on from where he's left off previous occasions. Taking it to the bowlers, nowhere to hide at the moment. Mitchell Santner looking a little bit of discomfort there.
But a rope burn. Yeah. Like a good ruck mark.
Not sure Mitchell Santner's been at the bottom of too many rucks in his life. but he managed to get a bit of rope burn or something, making this diving effort there.
Yeah, top of the Toblerone? I can never say it. Toblerone?
Toblerone, yeah, the little tough plastic.
Triangles. Hampton into the attack to bowl the 6th over, the last one on the power play. It's been a real good one for the Firebirds, and Conway just does what he's been doing, getting the strike to Finn Allen.
Well, and he's going at over 100, so it's, but you understand why he'll be feeding Finn Allen the strike. Brett Hampton had an important turn at the bowling crease in the win against CD, 3 for 21. Does manage to just get that wicket when, you know, against the run of play. So good bowling change here.
They need it now. They really do. It's mid on and mid off up. The cover, the offside field, that's just blanketed. Don't bowl wide. Oh, okay, just bowl straight and get pumped down the ground. 49 Allen moves to now.
This raises the question you asked earlier, Craig, about where do you bowl to this man. Hampton stuck to his plan, got hit straight. It's a matter of margins, but when you hit it that hard, you don't have to get it too far wrong.
And what he's done is it's just, I mean, we spoke to Anton Devsic all about gut feel. At the moment, Finn Allen's ahead of the game, as in the way he's thinking.
Yeah, push him.
Call is 2, and they're going to get back, and that's a wonderful 50. 24 deliveries for Finn Allen, his 3rd in 4 bats. What a breakthrough season he's having for the Firebirds.
And this Basin Reserve crowd treated to an innings from Finn Allen. Ironically, probably brought it up with this false shot of the day. I think he cued it a little bit, but that won't stop him. He'll just keep going.
And this maybe shows they brought up square leg and they actually bowled back of the length. So at the moment, pressure on Hampton. Full toss and through the cover field.
How early is he seeing this? It's one thing when you have fast hands, you've got good hand-eye coordination, but you pick up flight and length really early, and it's clear that Finn Allen's doing that.
Well, what's even makes it even better is he's charged it and it hasn't bounced, so it's full. And normally they're really hard to pick up, and more you're in a defensive mindset. I don't think we can use that word with Finn Allen.
Potentially deceived on that occasion. Good comeback from Hampton, who's taking a bit of tap in his first few balls at the bowling crease. Good comeback there. Good option for him.
Well, it's all very well having change, but you actually need to be able to change. So it's got to deceive in the flight, or it's got to deceive after it hits the pitch. If you end up just bowling an off spinner that skids across, it's not achieving anything. Right, so let's go up. It's high. Devsic running back. He's going to have to chase it. Pitches. And they pick up a couple. It's a power play done. 6 overs. 75 without loss.
This is Finn Allen's 50 in quick time, because that's exactly how it was scored, with power. Just takes on the bowler at every opportunity. A couple of premeditations like that one there, but really has put on a masterclass here for the Basin Reserve crowd. Gets to 50 off half as many balls. Excellent from Finn Allen. Katie Martin joins me in commentary. Been enjoying the show?
Wow, I've just been on my lunch break, Rosie, and geez, it's been a good side, isn't it? He's in such good form. Talked at the top of the show about the youngsters coming in, playing with no fear, and Finn Allen was my man to watch, and he's performed today. He's just on a roll, isn't he? He's scored so many runs this season for Wellington.
Absolutely, and Mitchell Santner having another over after going for 17 off his first, which won't have happened too many times to him. He's got a scratch on his tummy as well after rolling on the boundary, but this will be a good test for him.
He go back to your experienced bowler, don't you? And he's good enough to come back from that first over.
Yeah, I suspect he's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Lovely boy,
Conway
lovely.
uses his crease well, just steps a long way back in it to work it again into the leg side, which he seems to have been doing all day, so he can sit back and watch the show at his end.
Yeah, well, sometimes in T20 cricket, it's actually quite hard for two batters to go at the same time. Usually the one batter gets a lot of the balls, and you can see Finn Allen 27 balls, Conway just the 10, and it just happens like that. But I think the good thing about the partnership is being able to get rhythm and know what your role is in that partnership, and he's doing it beautifully well today.
Thing is, for Blaze, if Conway has to have the strike, that's not the worst result either, is it? Santner continues. Finn Allen, slightly deceived, I think, there. Just goes to the back foot. Aerial through gully, backward point.
Flat in delivery, just held in the wicket, just up and out of that shot. There's no control on there. It's interesting when spinners get going, don't they? You've got two options. You either go flatter and faster, or you give it a bit more air, and Santner we've seen go flatter and faster. Sometimes it helps the batters with that extra pace, and you know, he's got good guile and he's a really experienced bowler, so you'd expect him to change up that pace, slower deliveries, make the batters do the work. Hopefully get some just sitting in the wicket a bit like that previous one.
And try and bowl as many as possible to Conway at the moment, though. As I said, he's pretty good too. Good pace off ball there. Conway happy to just knock it out to point for a single.
That's an interesting discussion about Conway, isn't it? He probably didn't expect him to be selected in the Black Caps T20 side, and we know that there's a T20 World Cup in India in October later this year, and he'll be playing for that position.
Goes the reverse, probably hit just outside the line there. But that is encouraging for Mitchell Santner. That's what he wants Allen to be doing, taking some risks.
Well, we've seen one of those over the boundary, but yeah, outside the line. It's a nice flight from Santner.
Conway
Lovely set, brilliant set.
happy to just knock it down to mid-on for a single, keep the strike ticking over. He goes to 15.
Lovely set.
Also seen the injury of Henry Nichols, so there'll be some positions in the white ball cricket.
Keep going there, boy.
The New Zealand team playing Australia in 5T20 series coming up after this, so plenty to play for these batters.
Allen makes the most of a wide one there. Get two well run by Blaze batsman. And that is the end of the 7th over. 82 without loss, the Firebirds.
Go there, boys.
Joe Walker comes to the bowling crease for the Northern Knights in an attempt to try and stem the flow here as Wellington Firebirds continue this flyer they've got. Joe Walker had a good outing against CD, 1 for 14 off 4, kept it tight there. If he can come up with those figures today, I think he'll be a happy Anton Devsic. Conway just gets underneath the ball that was probably a bit too short from Joe Walker, deposits over square leg boundary for 4.
Yeah, you're right, he's just dropped that one short. First delivery, a bit of a loosener for Walker. It's flat, hard and in the wheel arc. One knee, Conway, and that's just kicked off the practice wickets there. And again, not as short, but Conway gives it the same treatment.
well fielded by Jet Raval down there at square leg boundary.
Lovely, Jess.
It'd have to be unnerving, wouldn't it, out fielding out there. There's no grass. You probably don't want to dive. You'd be worried about getting a graze on the arms. So Mitch Sattner has got it all covered up.
Well, talking to Gary Stead through the test match series, and he said BJ Watling had said those are the fastest practice wickets he'd ever trained on. But a little bit of turn there for Walker maybe, but still a little bit on the short side. Still, he'll be happy with a single if Fernand's on strike.
There's actually 2 practice blocks here, so they quite often use those practice blocks for the team training, and then top right corner out the back is the other training facilities, quite often used by international teams when they come up. Sometimes they're a little bit greener, there's a little bit more shade there, so I can imagine those ones out in the sun in the day are definitely flatter.
Lovely, boy, lovely. One.
Conway just nicely using his crease again. Stands up, fall off the back foot, help himself to a single mid-on. Three singles in a row. Be quite pleasing for Anton Devcic. Another look at those nets there. Kid's trying to get in for a sneaky roll.
Yep.
Van Allen pulled strongly. Only for one. Kept a little lower that one. Probably a lack of pace from Walker.
I heard Craig Cummingboard is bad actually from his trip in Dunedin, so he might be sneaking at the back over there. And they did talk about the pace of this wicket. It's a used wicket. It's getting lower and slower.
Yeah, definitely pace off is a bit tricky to get away, but Conway and Allen happy to keep it ticking over. Well, it's a fairly tidy start from Joe Walker after the first ball. 9 off the over. It's the end of the 8th. And Firebirds are 91 without loss.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult, isn't it? You get hit for your first ball, you get a boundary off that one, and then you're having to protect the over as a bowler. And conversely speaking, as a batter, you're always looking to try and get on top of the over early. And if you go back-to-back fours, you think, well, I'm going to make the most of this over. So he bowled really well, just the 5 singles off the last 5 balls. But again, picking up that run rate, Wellington going at nearly 12s and over.
Sattner continues. No wicket for 23 so far after 2 overs. Bowling to Conway. Conway sweeps strongly. He's a good player, that shot. But fielded well in the deep there.
Yeah, great fielding. We've seen the pace of this outfield increase. It's a good, safe option for Conway against that left armour. It's coming into him. Might see Mitch Sattner look to bowl that arm ball. As he's saying, hope you've had a good new year. I haven't seen you for a while. Tim Seifert, Conway, both playing for the Black Caps.
It's a pretty cordial chat from the keepers. Always friendly, aren't they?
I think they turned down the stump mics, didn't they?
Conway looks to advance on Sattner, changes his mind last minute, but managed to help himself back with a point to a couple of runs. At the moment, I think anything that's not resulting in a boundary is probably fairly pleasing for the Knights.
Nice fella.
Yeah, exactly. It's that accumulation phase like we talk about, and there's such a strong batting lineup. 178 in their first game, 175 in their second game, so we know that Wellington are very, very strong batting lineup, and they play really well at home. Bet the Auckland Aces here in their first game, scoring 178. So interesting what they're up to today.
No,
Shortish again from Sattner, but angled across.
No.
Conway, who goes for a tumble. Looks
Right
at the bowler's end. Hopefully he didn't roll his ankle there, but he looks to be a little bit uncomfortable. Look again here. Yeah, cut well, just as he's turning for this run. They look very awkward. Might be, yeah, slightly, I think, the right ankle.
Same charge here, boy.
That'll be stinging a bit. One of those ones where you have to just keep going. Because if you stop, it'll hurt. Centre continues. Allen again goes a reverse. Really well dispatched. I have to say backward point, but it looked like backward square leg because he was reversed so early, but he gets into position just as he's letting the ball go.
Well, that's a great way to bring up the 100 for the Wellington Firebirds. These youngsters, cricket's just easy game, isn't it? He's got really good hands, good wrist, and Glenn Maxwell, like, really, wasn't that? He's playing 360.
Oh, powerfully hit. Stands up tall. Finn Allen gets back in his crease. Very good looking single.
I think he was looking for that 2 in there and is a bit disappointed. Deep fielders. And when you're hitting such strong boundaries, you know, we talk about how deep this boundary is, 70 metres. We've got around the circle, not quite the 80 that Craig Cumming was talking about, but it's those deep pockets there, they'll want to push those twos.
Conway again, pulls strongly off the back foot. Unfortunately, Hampton just couldn't rein that in. Might have just snuck under his arm there for the boundary. End of the 9th over. Firebirds 105 without loss.
Well, he's so quick to press on the back foot. It's Devon Conway. Brilliant effort from Hampton. Trying to reduce as many runs as they can here in the Northern Knights. Discussions will be around when do they go death, when do they start looking at those death options, whether that's the full Yorkers or the slower deliveries.
Or when does the captain bring himself on for a bowl? Line back to the bowling crease. Finn Allen 67 off 34, Conway 32 off 20. Still yet to get wickets, Northern Knights. A few headaches for that man, Anton Devsic. Oh, Allen again back in his crease, but Devsic knows he's going to try and do that. Has a deep fine leg for him, deep square leg.
Well, he's played so well today, both getting inside the line to try and fetch that on the leg side, but also given himself room to hit over the offside. So you can see there's a clear back of the length plan to Allen, and he's just come up with some brilliant options to try and stifle that.
Well, Devsic explained it well earlier. So, you know, if someone's people are allowed to hit runs, allowed to play good shots, you just got to try and get ahead of them. And he keeps trying things. I do like the way he captains, and he's proactive. He gives the bowlers some options with their field settings and you know, shares the responsibility a bit, which is what you have to do when you've got someone going like this. Conway this time. Looks to drive, just didn't quite get all of it, lost his shape a little bit. Conway looks like he might be struggling a tad with that ankle.
Yeah, well, you want to force the batters to play a good shot to your good delivery, and if that good shot's better than that good delivery, well, you tip your hat and you say well played. And that's all you can really do as a bowler.
Yeah, the key is how you come back, isn't it? Conway, one hand off the bat into the covers, quick single. Finn Allen makes it comfortably. Might be wanting to throw to Conway's end.
Well, they nip a bit, don't they, those ankles? You're an ex-footy player, so you'd know probably more than me, but it's probably the softest wicket. It looks like maybe a fresh wicket right beside that block, and sometimes you run on the fresh wicket and it's slippery, and then sometimes you run on the actual wicket and it's slippery, so yeah, it's danger zone, isn't it? Maybe just don't run between the wickets. Just plain hit fours and sixes.
That's Finn Allen's approach, isn't it? Just hit some boundaries.
Yeah,
don't worry, Dev.
He's not injured, is he? So.
Goes again, opens up, over cover. Protection out there though. Mitch Santner all over that. Only a single. Almost get disappointed now.
No, we can't have it all up here, can we? But yeah, there are no wickets down here. So the discussions in the shed will be, is one of these players going to get going? Are they going to keep going? Finn Allen, well, he's 69. He's going nicely here. He'll be looking to push to get those 3 figures, but 10 wickets in hand, 10 overs to go. You can afford to lose a wicket and over here and still keep that momentum. They'll be looking for that 200+ score here.
Well, Conway a little bit edgy, but gets away with it. Backward of point just for a single. 1.5. Get back safely.
He's bowled nice and tight. Kruger line. It's the first one that's probably off the stumps for Conway. Getting him to actually force him to bowl wider into his arc. Oh, no, you get back, mate.
We're not doing running today. Wellington shapes to move early again, looking to access that leg side boundary. Doesn't even need the boundary, straight into the kids on the bank. Into the 10th over, 109 without loss. Well, that's Northern Knights bowling card at the moment, as you can see. There are Hampton, Fisher, Walker and Gibson have bowled 1 over each, Santner and Kugelheim 3. Some economy rates that the bowlers will be wanting to pull down, and 0 in the wickets column. So now it might be a bit of a revolving door as to who bowls when. So Hampton has been given the ball again, 13 off his first over. Came back well though after an early boundary.
Yeah, we know he's good with his change of pace, so you're trying to force the batters to do the work here.
You called it, Katie, change of pace. Slow one, unfortunately a wide one. Just slightly lost control of that.
Oh, bowlers have to have a few different options, don't they? And yeah, you talk about death and is that the last 5 overs, but as we've seen that one just sail over the fielder's head inside the boundary line.
Conway works it off his legs again. Just the one.
Yeah, so if they're going 10s and 11s and over at the moment, there's a potential that they actually start death early. You don't have to save your death plan till the last few overs. You know, they'll be wanting to get a wicket here. Best way to stem the momentum and the flow in this innings is by getting a wicket, getting a new batter. And so they'll be having the discussions about how we get them out, but also how do we stifle the runs and what's our best options, and potentially death is that.
Oh, false shot, probably one of the few from Finn Allen. He might still get a boundary for it, though it's being run down there well. Well fielded. Yeah, because it's kind of like when you're defending a small total, you don't wait to bring your specialist death bowlers back, otherwise it's too late. You know, you can't bring them back with only 5 or 10 runs to go, and you could apply the same rationale here.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, you go to death plan to reduce the boundaries, and if they're only getting 1s and 2s or 3s potentially with the size of these boundaries, then that's a win, and that can create the pressure to get a false shot.
Oh, Finn Allen, he's gone there. Oh, he'll be frustrated with that. Again, tried to use his crease and get in position early, and unfortunately only succeeded in bottom edging it onto his stumps. He has to go. Look at this. Yeah, just unfortunately for him, and you can see the despair on his face. He was setting in for the day. He has to depart for 75. First wicket falls for the Firebirds, 117 for 1. Tom Blundell, new batsman to the crease, back in the team, has the gloves back. Conway's been looking after them for him. He'll be enjoying getting back into the swing with his Firebirds teammates. Finn Allen here. Oh, that was, you'd have money on that going to the boundary, wouldn't you, the way he's been batting, but unfortunately not to be. Tom Blundell has a job now, though. Try and keep this momentum going for the Firebirds. Classical cover drive. Devsich eventually fields it.
Well, he's used to the Red Bull, old Tom Blundell, as we see. Well, he's given up on us up here, Rolls. He's taken all the microphones off and...
Yeah, he's heard. He doesn't want to talk to the wicketkeepers, fair enough. As we ask him what his plans are.
Tell you what Blundell will be happy about. He's spent a couple of test matches under the helmet with the shinies on, fielding in close, so it'd be comfort to have the gloves back on and being behind the wicket and getting a different view. And less danger, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I think on a couple of occasions I saw he only had one shin pad on and none, so maybe they only had one pair amongst the team and someone else pulled rank on him. But you're right, much more comfortable with the big mitts on. Conway again working off his legs. Just the one. Not keen to push that second one. No need really. And you're going at 11s.
Yeah, well, the good thing about, I guess, that wicket from a Firebirds perspective is, and Tom Blundell's perspective, is it gives him a bit more time. He's got 9 overs. He can afford to get a couple of balls and get used to the pace of the wicket and then look at gaining that momentum back into the innings.
Blundell again just works it behind point for a single. That is the end of the 11th over. Firebirds going at 10.9, 120 for 1. Got a few members of the Wellington public out enjoying the Basin Reserve and the cricket. Good to see a Tottenham Hotspurs shirt in the crowd.
Well, we've got a few English people around with Spark Sport and Whisper, so I'm sure there's a couple of Tottenham fans.
Good, I'm not the only one. Hampton continues. No, it's not. Joe Walker.
Who was your EPL team? We know you played a number of games, international games for the football ferns, double international.
It is Tottenham Hotspurs. I've been a Gary Lineker fan for most of my life. Do you even know who he is, Katie?
Well, I do. I'm actually a Man United fan, Rosie.
That's all good. Joe Walker continues.
Oh, boy,
bit of turn there.
lovely.
Blundell expertly works it into the onside. Slightly different approach here from Blundell to Finn Allen, which Devsich will be happy about.
Man U fan because of David Beckham. He's a beautiful man, isn't he?
He's a very good player. A different generation to Lineker. Oh, Walker deceives Conway a little bit slower through the air. Conway commits to the sweep early.
Well, Walker's a different type of off spinner. His ball comes more out the front of the hand, a bit flatter, so expect that lower trajectory to get a bit of lack of spin.
Conway uses his feet this time. Gets a bottom hand off the bat pretty smartly if he's not quite in control and got his hands out in front. Keeps it on the ground.
Yeah, so that lower trajectory means the bounce isn't going to be as high. It's going to skid through a bit more, and some grip and turn, and some just slide on. So really good variations from Walker.
Sweeping again, Conway. Go on the backhand, one-handed, that cricket bat. Raval cleans up, goes for two. I saw Devsich having some throwdowns just with the bottom hand. I was thinking, oh, I would have been told off for that. It'd be top hand only, usually.
Yeah, it's sort of a new thing these days, is the top hand, single hand work to try and engage the shoulder, and then the bottom hand to just get that power. I know that's something a lot of batters are working on at the moment.
Conway drives powerfully, but only for one. Down to mid-off. Good over from Joe Walker. Comes to an end. He has none for 13. End of the 12th over, 124 for 1.
It's one of those things, just finding different ways to train and warm up, and typically batters do it in the off season just to tidy up some of that technique. And yeah, the bottom hand seems to be a new one. I tried that a few times with Matthew Bellin at Lincoln early last year, and the bat ended up down the other end, so I couldn't hold on to it. So I'd given up on that, but I know it's definitely something that has come into the game a lot more for training.
Brett Hampton with the ball in hand, bowling to Conway, who is down the wicket, uses his feet smartly, just lofts it out to Mitch Santner, and at mid-on. Just a single.
Oh, I've seen that wicket. Last 5 overs. Wellington are only going at 7.8 an over, previously going around that 12 mark. So it just shows getting a wicket can really stem the flow of runs, and the Knights have come back really well here. Still plenty of wickets in hand for the Firebirds.
Blundell this time using his feet. Tell you what, Devon Conway had to do a bit of gymnastics to get out of the way of that. Just about took his head off.
Well, he's in the wars today, oh, Conway, isn't he? He's got a rolled ankle, and then it's probably an ear concussion, and that's when you're yelling out 4 on the golf course. Oof.
Yeah, thankfully for him, Blundell didn't get all of it. Otherwise, it might have been a bigger problem. Good. This is good from Hampton. 2 singles and a dot so far. Interesting, the run rates you just read out there, Katie. Wonder how much, you have to, as a certain amount as a batting team, ride your luck, don't you? You got to look at the way Finn Allen got out and go, well, was he unlucky, or did his luck just run out? Because, I'm not sure that delivery was anything tricky, but it just didn't work out for him on that occasion. Oh, unfortunately, just wide of Seifert, was it? Conway advanced down the pitch, got a decent outside edge. Seifert, valiant effort. 4 runs the result.
He's given himself a bit of room there, and oh, he's got a fingertip on that. Really good effort from Seifert. It's gone wide. Maybe not a fingertip, but it's close enough. Really good effort from Seifert.
Conway on this occasion pulling strongly. A little bit shorter from Hampton.
Oh, we've seen them Kugelline the same, just bowling that middle and off stump line and trying to tuck Conway up, and Conway's looking to use his feet to give himself a bit more room. Really good options for Conway to combat that angle sliding across. Blundell, he's looking to start to get the long handle, I think, here, Rosie.
Oh, slower ball, but shorter. Blundell shape to pull. Wasn't quite there, so he only bottom edged it for a single. That is the end of the 13th over, 132 for 1.
Just pulling things back slightly here, the Knights. Just pulling it, as you can say, pulling it back, the run rate at 10, but Anton Devcic is in the game.
Do we know why he's not bowling? I haven't heard any news of injuries or anything like that.
Flat pitch, fast outfield, 2 batters in form. You're captain, you don't have to bowl.
You could have just said that last part, he's captain, he doesn't need to bowl.
Beautifully bowled, and that is the build-up of some really good pressure from the Knights.
He's been impressive, Walker. He saw Conway come down the wicket, slowed the pace. The ball's beaten the outside edge, straight through to Seifert. He's given himself some room, Conway. Couldn't cover the line of ball. Easy stumping for Seifert. Conway has to depart for 45. Firebirds 133 for 2.
Jimmy Neesham, left-hander, he's been coming out at number 4. Perfect time to ask the left-hander to come out and be able to strike.
Oh boy.
Slip in place too, attacking from Devcic. Beautiful bowling this, Katie Martin.
You saw him coming down, slowed the pace. The ball sat in the wicket.
Wonderful over. Just the 1 run and a wicket off it. 14 gone, 133 for 2.
Yeah, we talk about spinners when they get a bit of tap, they go faster, but Walker's just slowed the pace nicely. We've seen a little bit of grip in the wicket, and that one's just gripped and gone past the outside edge. He's been impressive, Walker, hasn't he?
Oh, well, and the last 3 overs, just 19 runs. So it was a really important over because Conway was going to go for it. Clawing it back, the Knights. 19 runs in the last 3 overs, Katie, and that last wicket was just through the bit more pressure. Something had to give, whether it be a boundary or a wicket. And for the Knights, it was good enough.
We've got 2 new batters in as well for the Firebirds, and getting to that 200-run score, you kind of need an in batter to, in the last 5 overs to try and go.
Caller was 2, should be able to take on the arm.
You know, it's not the easiest wicket to get in. The slower balls are sitting in the wicket, so it may take a few balls to get themselves in. You may have missed it, Craig. We found the boundary sizes out for you.
Right, so what I said, square 80, I think it's 82 one side, and the other one I'll go 69.
Well, that's a nice boundary size, but it's actually 70 everywhere and 63 to the nets. But as you know, the wicket, 20 yards, 22 yards, they take it from the middle. So if you're hitting straight, 75 metres.
How wide's a cricket pitch? How wide is it?
I don't know, mate.
Well, it's at least 2.5 metres.
You're trying to find some extra centimetres here, aren't you?
Well, I'm going 30 metres to the, with 30-yard circle, isn't it? 27.5 metres, I think it is. So I'm going to double that. Oh, okay. I reckon it's bigger. You got to remember, in Wellington when they measure, they might have been walking down breeze. So their meter's about 1.5 metres if the wind catches you. All I know is that with Finn Allen batting, it wasn't big enough. I did the wrong thing.
What's that?
So this one's in the air, no timing. I did the wrong thing, and I'm going to have to apologise to Finn Allen. I googled Super Smash hundreds, and I googled Basin Reserve to see who had scored hundreds here at the Basin Reserve. And just as I pressed go, he got out.
It is the commentator's curse, isn't it? I had him up for 100, and I think he did as well. He was very, very disappointed to get out. What did you find out then?
The Wi-Fi's really slow here at the Basin Reserve. The ram shot, he's just rammed it, might bounce to the keeper. Beautiful change of pace. Now, I brought up this year's stats. And I got George Worker's 100 yesterday, and obviously Anton Devsic 100 at Pookie Park. I did see yesterday, actually, George Worker, I think University of Otago Oval's got the most hundreds as a ground in the Super Smash. Obviously bowled 2. And I'm going to go off the top of my head, I think it was 6 or 5, but Chris Gaffney, Aaron Redman, obviously George Worker, Hamish Rutherford, and one more, which will come to me. This is domestic Super Smash hundreds. Chris Gaffney's was in our first ever game, and I talked about we got 217 or something, I think, and thought we were going to win that game in a 2020, 217. And we went in at half time, and Jamie Howe came out and got 90, and Ross Taylor got 70 off about 9 balls. The short ball's the option, but that's beautifully timed in the gap. So a wee bit of momentum for the Firebirds. 15 gone, 142 for 2.
Do you know what the scary thought is, Craig? We've got a Australia-New Zealand T20 international in February, and there could be a number of balls go missing.
Oh, that's right, yes. And potentially, and hopefully, fingers crossed, schedule comes out, we'll have some White Ferns games there too, Katie, and I know it's a bit of a jinx at the moment for you and Susie Bates. between you and Susie, you've played for about 45 years. You've played 3,500 games, and both of you are yet to play for the White Ferns at your home ground. It's nicely bowled again.
Well, we were all lined up ready to go last year against South Africa. Absolutely beautiful day the day before we were due to play. 22 degrees, sun was out, turned up next day, bucketing down. No one spoke to us the whole game. We weren't very happy, I can tell you that, Craig.
Really good display when you got 1 for 15, a 3.1 as an off spinner. Again, that's nice. Another opportunity. Is it 2 for 15? You bet it is. Massive wicket, and Walker, wow, he's in line for the Dream11 game changer.
A big wicket, Jimmy Neesham for Wellington Firebirds. Walker's seen him come down the wicket, flatter, faster, wider. All he's done is slice that straight down to long off. Really smart bowling. Firebirds have to lose another wicket. Neesham goes for 5. Firebirds 143 for 2.
Really smart bowling. It was a little bit like he was round arm and chucked it in a good length, but it was short enough, and Neesham ended up just about flat batting it more as opposed to the straight bat. Michael Bracewell, who will just, if history shows anything, he'll go from ball 1. But they've lost a lot of momentum. They're still in a very good position. But watch it more of a wide swipe like that. Couldn't get the power.
Yeah, he's just pushed that wider, so Jimmy Neesham had to reach for it and couldn't get the control.
Oh boy, lovely lads. Lovely lads.
We're going at 11 and over, but the last 5 overs, 26 for 3, so it's been a really good comeback from the Knights.
Yeah, we talk about the momentum shifts in T20. The wickets are so vital for that momentum shift. So you slip in for Michael Bracewell now. All attack for the Knights.
Oh, lovely lads.
Well, when they're going and they get off to such a great start, and highest partnership in the Dream11 Super Smash between the two openers, Conway and also Allen, which beat the other was 100 partnership was between Finn Allen and Ravindra last time these two teams played. You can only get back in the game through taking wickets.
Yeah, it's that management between not leaking runs, not giving boundaries, and able to control it. We saw this in the women's game through the middle with the spinners, how effective they were.
This time, up and over, just enough from Blundell. That's a big shot. Just the use of the feet, he was able to get there. Good way to end the over. 153 for 3.
He'd be disappointed to go for 6 off that last ball, Walker, but 2 for 25 off his 4 allotment. Firebirds brought up their 150 in that over. Really good day out for Walker, back into the Knights lineup today.
It's going to get to me that extra 100 at University Otago Oval. I can't get. I'm pretty sure it's 5 of them. Well, Sat now, it's been a tough introduction back into domestic cricket. It's going to be tougher now because that's going to run away. The question is, will it go for 4? No. Blundell's trying to get back, but I'll tell you what, he's actually, I think he nearly went over on his ankle.
Oh, it's not the first time we've seen this today. Devon Conway as well. Let's see what happened there, Craig. I don't know if that was whether he's played the shot or whether that was trying to turn.
Oh, just a wee twist there as he went to land.
Well, we saw this earlier, Craig. Devon Conway, who was on the opposite green, and yeah, she's a bit soft on that side and it's gone over.
Well, it's been used, so I wonder if there's a little foothold from a follow-through that's just been grassed. So there's that slow, wide one. I tell you what gets to me, and you'll hear it lots, is people go, oh, he's batting, he only got half spikes on. Should have full spikes on. 90% of cricketers play when they bat with half spikes. There we go, half spikes in the front and not on the back. Don't know why. So slowing it up now, Satner.
Well, this is the Conway one on the opposite side, and a bit more slippery on that side. Tweaker.
Yeah, very similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it took Satner a while, I think early on, especially his first over, which went for 17. Maybe bowled a bit quick. Now he's certainly slowing it up. Remembering also, it's a big, big ground, especially on the leg side here to the left-hander. I get the feeling Bracewell might have a wee tee off here. He tried.
Lovely boy, lovely boy.
So that's a good over. Just the 6 off it. 160 for 3.
Oh, Michael Bracewell, he's sort of known for the longer form of the game in his early stage of his career. Played a number of games for New Zealand A, New Zealand 11. In the recent times, he's increased that tempo as the Wellington Blaze watch on. I think Millie Kerr's saying, Maddie Green, I'll teach you how to sweep.
Well, she got outdoor today, Millie Kerr, didn't she, sweeping? Rare failure. At the top of the order, she opened the batting and actually went wicketless. Get to the nets. Took a catch, though. Kugelheim to bowl his last over, number 29 of 3 overs. Expect lots of cutters and off-pace deliveries, and maybe the odd bouncer.
Well, they've used both their spin options, so there'll be 3 overs of pace to finish off the innings for the Northern Knights, unless that man in the screen decides to bowl, but likely not. We haven't seen him so far this season.
No chance, Katie. 3 overs to go, you're the captain, you're not coming on. In the air and taken. So Devcich takes the catch, and another important breakthrough for the Knights.
Well, he doesn't need to bowl if he catches those. Kugelheim pitches it up full it. Bracewell unable to get underneath the ball. Across him. Rolled his fingers over the ball. An easy catch for Devcich at mid-off. Bracewell, he has to go for 6. 160 for 4.
Tell you what, 34 for 3 off the last 5 overs. And I reckon a big part of that, Katie, and you know what it's like, you get put in this position. The reason they've come back well has been the calmness of Anton Devcich as captain. He hasn't panicked, he hasn't get frustrated, he knows it's part of the game. Alan was playing nicely, he said that. But you're just dealing with what's in front of you. And the over you're about to bowl is the most important one. And they've pulled it back really, really well. Firebirds still in an excellent position, but they could have been in an even better position. Kugelheim picks up his first wicket. And one's a gold, let alone dot balls and wickets.
Oh, the other thing about a wicket is it's a dot ball, isn't it? So you're already getting a new batsman on and in the innings, but it's also a dot ball, which is so gold at this point of the game.
Jamie Gibson's the new batsman.
He's okay.
Off the mark straight away. So now the pressure really goes on Blundell.
Yeah, they'll be wanting Blundell to face as many balls as they can in this last few overs. You've got your premier, your two black caps, black cap bowler, black cap batter, so they'll know each other really well. Plenty of space out there for Blundell. Even if he looks at pushing the twos and gets a little bit more momentum, even if a couple of balls, but you'd expect to try and keep going here with good low-risk options. It's one of those wickets, isn't it? Batters have come in and they've tried to keep going, but probably haven't given themselves a chance to actually work out the conditions and just haven't quite had the timing.
Yeah, on the TV screen and from where we look, it looks a really good surface, but Anton Deficit said at the start is holding. Slow balls are really tough to hit. Catch it. No, bounced. Just bounced in front. Tim Seifert wasn't interested.
Oh, there's just no pace on the ball, is there? No, it hasn't quite reached. I mean, you have to take the keeper, don't you? The honesty there.
Was there an opportunity maybe to stick the hands further forward? I mean, it's been this commentary box has just been a cushion for keepers all day. Really has. I mean, it's been, they can't do anything wrong. And the criticism just would not happen. And I'm not criticising Seifert, but I wondered whether he could get the hands further forward.
Well, I feel like I'm going to defend the keeper here, Craig, but
there's a surprise.
The most difficult way is actually diving forward to catch it when you're not sure of the pace.
Straight up, right, who's under this? It's going to have snow on it for a start. Looks like Clark and takes it easy. Gee whiz. Nerves of steel there. And another breakthrough for the Knights.
Well, that has gone high into the air. Clark's had time to wipe his hands a couple of times on his pants as that was in the air. Youngster said, get out my way, I've got this. Given himself some room, Tom Blundell. He's pitched and hit that very, very high and, well, safe as houses. He made that look easier than what that was. Blundell, he has to go for 22. Firebirds, 5 down now for 161.
That's a really good catch, and you just said he's made it look so easy. That's gone as high as it possibly can go, I reckon, in a game of cricket. And he stood underneath it, just said mine, relaxed hands, and yeah, it's like he was taking the ball had just been lobbed to him. He's a good fielder though. Kartini Clark controls that backward point region. Well, this is a new experience for Rachin Ravindra, batting at 7. Probably was down to bat 3 if they had lost an early wicket.
It's been such a great over by Scott Kugelheim. 2 wickets, only 1 run on the board. Important part for the Knights here to close out this innings after such a fantastic start by the Firebirds.
Right, this has gone bang. I tell you what, Gibson Just stand and deliver. Only needs one ball to get in. And that's a heck of a strike to end the over. 167 for 5.
Wow, the noise that made off the bat, Craig. We could hear this through the glass up here. Seam it straight into the arc. Free swing of the bat. It sounded good. It wasn't like it was too full. It was a good length. He's just absolutely got up and under that. No chance on the boundary.
I'd love to have seen Anton Devcic's reaction to that. I reckon it was one of those ones the captain would be standing there. Jumping, square. Well, to me, that shows that the Firebirds think they need more. They need to get to there in that 180. If they get 180 here at the Basin Reserve, I think 2 of the last 15 games the team chasing has won. And that was the last game on the 24th when Wellington chased to go to the Aces. And from memory, I think it was the last round robin game of the Super Smash last year. Before that team batting first, he got over 160, I think it was one.
Yeah, look, 178 was the score. They chased down the Firebirds, so they know if they can get north of that, then they're definitely in the game. It's a big couple of overs left in the game for the Knights to try and reduce that. If they can keep them under that 180 score, like you say, it's going to be a pretty exciting chase on our hands.
Always going to get 2.
The other benefit of batting first for the Wellington Firebirds, and look, this is their home ground, so they'll know the insights of where to bowl here, but it gives you a view of what has been effective from a bowling option, what's effective fielding positions, where is a lot of the balls gone, so you get some good insight for you bowling second.
Was that? I think that's got on the helmet. I think it may have come off the gloves, and we're going to have a concussion test. He's all right. He said, I'm fine, but it's part of the protocols. 1, it was a slow ball, and 2, I'm pretty sure it came off the hand.
Pretty conservative these days, players and those health and safety protocols.
What do they ask you in this situation? Oh no, it's got him flush.
Well, you do a test beforehand, and I know in Australia what they do is they have a computerised card system, and you would then select the card, the number of the card, or the, I guess the, what do you call it, whether it's a club or the suit of the card, and then you then have to react to that, so you get a baseline of what that is. Here they'll be asking him questions, you know, what's the day of the week, etc., and if they feel like there's a bit of slowness, then they'll take him off and then they'll ask that. So they might go back through that same process or ask him some additional questions around numbers and memory. So it is really testing the memory and whether the speech is slower. And there's different parts all around the world of the protocols and tests that they follow.
Based on what you've just said, I've failed already.
Oh, look, I tell you what, Craig, if I went off in a concussion test, I'd be out for the rest of the year because I can't even remember what I did yesterday.
Oh, I know. I know. You played a game of cricket yesterday, Katie, by the way.
Thanks, Craig.
Well, I mean, I remember a couple of times. One, you know, I remember Shane Bond hitting me just, it was actually the day he got called into the New Zealand side to go to Australia for that tri-series, whatever it was, and he ran and swung back, so he just got flush in the head in the air, and I've nicknamed around the circles was Big Ears, and he just walked down and looked at me, and I did have a bit of a ring. That was sort of, you know, but I felt fine, but all he could do was look at me and go, well, how can I miss those things? He wasn't asking me how I was. He's all right, though, Ravinja, that's the good thing. Going to have to run to get back for 2.
Well, it sounds like it might have been a good thing that you had Big Ears, Craig.
Well,
extra protection.
you do go back, though, as a former player, and I know there'll be many athletes out there who have played many different sports and you've had contact, and, you know, you had the ringing in the air, but you felt all right. You thought you were right. I mean, this is not just in rugby and cricket and all these different sports. You know, there's football now with headering the football, in the old days with the leather ball, but at the time you just thought I was fine. It might be a wide. And I suppose you don't know the continual damage or what's gone on. Some will say there's definitely damage with you, meaning me or whoever. I mean, I got hit, I got 6 plates on my cheek from Dale Steyn. But I haven't had a headache yet, but I had to get surgery and those things. So no, it's a really much, I suppose it's really grey at the moment.
Typically you get side effects hours after, and I know that it's probably like that 10 to 12 hours afterwards, and you know, if there is concerns with players, quite often they'll set an alarm overnight and wake them up every couple of hours just to check to see that they're all right. So yeah, it's important to go through those protocols, but it is, you know, you could get back in the change room and feel a bit foggy and a bit of a sore head, so it might be a bit delayed.
No, it's well bowled, really well bowled. Yeah, it's a little bit like when you get hit, you know, let's say on the thigh with the ball and it misses your thigh pad. It stings a wee bit, but you're right. Then when you come off and the next morning you get to go out of bed and, oh, gee, it's really sore because the bruising starts to take effect and the swelling takes effect, and I'm no neuro specialist, but that, you know, the brain's the same sort of thing. It's just got to be so careful. But then Ravindra knew he was fine, so that's okay. Slow ball, thick outside edge, oh, bit of bad luck. It's been a good over by Gibson so far. Into the over, 177 for 5.
A bit of luck for the Firebirds. It doesn't matter how you get them. Thick outside edge, like you say, Craig, and these days, third man, we don't have those guys back, so it's a pretty big gap there. Last over of this game for Wellington Firebirds for their batting. 177. They'll be looking to push that up. 190. Be a really, really good score on this wicket.
Yeah, you're always sitting there now in the coach's box with the players. You go, oh, do you love 200? Can we get a couple of special shots here? But you'd want, yeah, 13 to 15. 192, 193 to win. Matt Fisher's going to be asked to bowl the last. 21 off his 2 overs. Oh, that's a wonderful shot. That's over cover. That's for them. Smart cricket from Ravindra.
Beautiful shot from Ravindra. Usually an opening batsman. He's come down the wicket, slower delivery. Oh, he stayed in his crease, actually. I thought he'd come out to that one. Stayed in his crease, given himself some room, swung the arms nicely through the ball. There's definitely nothing wrong with that noggin, I don't think, Craig. He's seen that one nicely.
I reckon that noggin there is a wee bit disappointed with that delivery. Anton Devsic, he really, with the field set, 3 back on the leg side to the left-hander, really wants to be tucking him up. Going to run it by. Could be run out. I think he will be. Yeah, he's done. Ravindra will have to turn round. Billy's going to go upstairs, but 10 to 15 centimetres short.
Third umpire to director. We have a review for a run out. Can we get the best side on angle, please? Okay, just roll that forward. Freeze when the bails come off. Just go back to where the bails come off, thanks. Okay, I'm satisfied. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen. Please load out, repeat out.
Wow, he's run out by a good metre there. Ravindra, a couple of good shots. He has to go for 6, 181 for 5.
Matt Fisher doing the work there. Good ball. Troy Johnson's the new man in jersey 2. And we've got 4 to come in the innings.
Gibson on strike. Oh, I think that's got him too. He's going to hold on to it. We're going to do another check. Yeah, we are.
Brilliant, Fisher.
Oh, the physio sat on his butt the whole innings, and next thing you know, 2 and 2 overs, he's back out there. off the glove, is it? Into
Yeah, I think the elbow actually, or the forearm.
And of course, just a precaution here, of course.
Yeah, still though, and you look at it side on, it didn't take a lot of pace off it. They'll just run through the check. Straight away, I was looking for the single. I hope they've got a couple of, they've got a big cupboard full of helmets because there's two new ones. Tough these days if you've got a favourite one, Katie.
Yeah, I'm as fussy as anything, Craig. As you know, I like my helmet. I like the inner sweat part of it. Keeps it nicely on your head, but yeah, these days, once you get hit once, they sort of say the structure of the helmet isn't as safe, so you have to replace them.
Well, the big part is how you wear them as well. And when I spoke about when I got hit by Dale Steyn, it hit my grill. But my problem was I didn't have the chin strap on. I used to not like them, I used to have the strap just underneath. But as soon as the ball made contact with the grill, pushed it back. Whereas the chin strap actually plays a really important part on making sure that the helmet stays stable. Mount Victoria, part of your fitness training, Katie. You'll be up there at the end of the day's play.
Oh, I did take into the gym this morning. Bumped into Bob Carter, the White Ferns coach. He asked if he'd been to the gym, and I said, of course, Bob. So it's pretty good timing. But actually, the Hurricanes have an annual fitness test up there. They run up there and time. Not sure exactly where they start from, but yeah, they go to the top of Mount Victoria and have a time trial for that. So it's probably not the props getting up there first, I would suggest.
Oh, it's about stamina because it's quite a steep run, especially you go through Wellington College and go up. You can go up around that back way. The reverse didn't work that time, so they'll get through for another single. This is a good over so far. Good comeback from Fisher.
Yeah, I've seen that him where he's gone for boundary in his first couple of overs early and was able to peg it back really nicely. It's a beautiful spot around Basin, a lot of greenery. What are they, Putakawa trees, are they?
Sure are.
A couple of hefty blows here from Wellington and they'll get them to that 190 mark.
Yeah, and the Knights are thinking, wow, if we can get two singles, 185. And they will take that. Beautifully bowled, the slow ball. Just get it on, and while it's a wicket, more importantly, it's another dot ball.
Yeah, Fisher's come back well again here. 2 wickets this over. He just rolled his fingers on the ball, the side of the hand. It's hit the middle stump. Gibson has to depart. Really good finish here for the Knights. Gone for 13, sorry, 183 for 7.
Up those first wicket of the day, 183 for 7 down the Wellington Firebirds. Welcome back to the United jersey 27. 1 ball remaining.
Logan Mambeek to face the last delivery of the Wellington innings. And nicely bowled. They will push for 2. They should be run out if the throw's anywhere decent. I'll tell you what, Van Beek's done brilliantly to get back. And he's going to run off and get ready to bowl. So that'll bring the end of the Firebirds innings. After being asked to bat first, I've got through to 185 for 7.
Fisher finishing 3 overs, 1 for 28. Let's take a look at the scorecard.
Right, let's find out how they think that is from the Firebirds' point of view. Let's head down to the sideline. Rebecca Rolls has Devon Conway with her.
Well, Devon, you're part of a record-setting opening partnership, 117. What were the conversations going on between you and Finn Allen?
Yeah, I think it was just pretty simple for Finn, you know. He was extraordinarily good today, so we sort of just said, keep going, you know. I just try to remind him, just keep hitting good cricket shots, you know, keep timing the ball like you're doing, and if you fancy it, go for it. I'm here to support you as much as I can.
Very nice, and you went at a good clip yourself, 45 off 35. How did your role change when he got out?
Yeah, you know, I think we speak about like one batter batting through as much as possible, so a little bit disappointed I got out when I did, but then again, in saying that, I was trying to sort of keep the momentum going. So yeah, unfortunately didn't quite fulfill my role, but I think credit to Finn, he was incredible today, and it was awesome to have that record partnership with him.
And you said the pitch was a little bit sticky, so how will you guys approach this defence of this total?
Yeah, I think ideally we'd like to bowl a lot of off-pace deliveries, you know, cutters into the wicket I think will be quite hard to score off, so if we can box smart with those change-ups, it would be really good for us and hard for them to score, I think.
Well, Devon Conway, thank you very much for having a chat, and all the best for defending this total.
Yeah, excellent opening partnership between Conway and Allen. Well, Allen was the aggressor, and he played really, really well. Conway just talked about there, his job was to support, obviously the experienced head, about what they're looking to doing. Allen got through to 75 off 39 balls, Conway 45 off 35 balls. Big part for the reason why the Firebirds enjoyed batting first. Just looking at the card, there we are, Allen 75, Conway 45, Blundell 22, and then they fell away a little bit and they just couldn't get anyone in and get any momentum. And they ended up getting through to 185, but a very good comeback from the Knights, from their bowlers, who didn't give in. It wasn't easy, especially at the start. And they were under pressure, especially by Allen, and they had to come back. But the standout was Walker, 2 for 25 off his 4 overs. Kugeline 2 for 36, and the other wicket takers Fisher and Hampton. So that means when the Knights come back, they'll put the pads on, they'll go out to the middle, and they're going to require 186 to win off their 20 overs, and they're going to need to go at 9.26 runs per over. Halfway stage in the Dream11 Super Smash presented by KFC, and it is the Firebirds who batted first. They were asked to bat by the Knights, and they've done well. They've got through to 185 off their 20 overs. They were looking like potentially getting over 200, but a very good last 10 overs with the ball from the Knights restricted them. And the reason they got off to a flyer, they were 113 without loss after 10 overs, was on the back of Finn Allen, who brought up his third 50 in 4 games, and he was just dynamic. 23 balls to bring up his 50. He hit all around the ground. The real feature is just the hand speed that he gets. Look at that, just right hand got too easy. He said, I'll try and have a left-handed one, and he hit that out of the ground. And he was on for potentially 100 when he had so much time left, but amongst this, he dragged one on to be dismissed in the 70s, but another wonderful 50 from the youngster. It moved down from the aces and is making every poster winner in this Dream11 Super Smash for the Firebirds. Partnership with Conway. But as I mentioned, 113 off the first 10 overs, and then the Knights fought really hard. He did really well with the ball, and on the back of some excellent off-spin bowling by Joe Walker, pulled a halt and they picked up wickets. They only got 72 off the last 10 overs. When I say only 72, it still equals 186, and that's the total that the Knights are going to have to face. They've got players of explosive power, especially when you look at Seifert. Vicky Rolls, who were down there at sideline, did the Firebirds seem pretty satisfied at half-time?
Yeah, I think so, Craig. I think when you get off to a fly like that, you've got designs on 200 odd. But just having a quick chat to Devon Conway before the flash interview there, he said, you know, bringing Joe Walker on it slowed things down quite a bit. There's not a lot of pace in the pitch, and that was quite surprising once the ball was sort of 3 or 4 overs old, and that's exactly what we saw, wasn't it? That they started to having to create their own pace, but obviously he says he's got the best seat in the house. Good view of Finn Allen.
Too right. We're about to catch up with Finn Allen on the left of the screen at some stage during the innings because he's got the mic on.
Kartini Clark there with a helmet in the bat. He's an exciting young prospect as well. Really dynamic in the field, but also has got a few, I'd say, quick starts. He'll be keen to do something like Finn Allen.
Well, I seem to notice with the Knights that he likes to play the pull shot, but it looks like opposition go at him with his pull shot. They have 2 players back, and he skied a couple. Man at the other end, I feel like today he's going to push the go button from the start.
Well, why not? You have to when you are chasing something decent. 186 the target for the Knights. I've noticed that as well with his pull shot, and to your theory, Craig, about feeding the strength. That's obviously what they're trying to do there.
And the Firebirds have bounce bowlers. Hamish Bennett, he runs in, he'll hit the pitch hard. He'll do cutters. He's got knuckleball, but then they do like to hit that back of the length.
Speaking of cutters, there's been a recent one his haircut.
Yeah, I think he might have to go back. I think it's half done. They missed a bit around the back. Maybe not. Oh, they've taken a bit much out. Oh, straight away. Is it a wide? It's not, but a shape.
Definitely a bit of shape, and you called it correctly. Kartini Clark not interested in having a look. Straight down the wicket. Gave himself room. Hamish Bennett pushed it wide. A little bit uneventful in the end.
I've got to be careful because Hamish Bennett thinks I'll pick on him on TV, and you can't do that to a good Timaru boys, old boy.
You can tell him I started it.
Nope. School of Higher Learning. To the brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Clark stands there and just stares at the off stump and goes, what has happened there?
Well, you can have whatever haircut you like if you come up with this second ball of a game, can't you? That was exceptional bowling from Hamish Bennett, straight at the base of off stump. Exactly what an opening batsman does not want. And Kartini Clark just didn't even, but couldn't move. Left the leg bail on. We'll just keep it tidy.
Looked like a slow ball, but Clark gone for 0, none for 1. Jeet Raval coming in at the fall of the first wicket, and they have not got a run the night, so worst possible start, but a brilliant start by Hamish Bennett. Just what you want. Got the runs on the board, pressure on the batting side by picking up early wickets. Oh, you've got a slip and a gully, so all out attack from Michael Bracewell. This is just about the most traditional field I've ever seen this year in the Dream11 Super Smash. No third man. 2 backward points, a cover, mid-off. Oh, that's a good take.
Saw Tom Blunder wobble his ankle a little bit, but not keeping him down there. Brilliant take, considering he's been sat under the lid for a few days in the test match. Look at this again. Just did tail in, didn't it, a bit?
Yeah, I was trying to work out because it looked like a slow ball. And you think, well, he looked like he was done with pace, but I think it just did dip at the end. Oh, shape, just missing leg stump.
I think you're right, Craig, and Hamish Bennett sort of looked like he realised that mid-appeal and shut that down as well, but really good bowling. Definite tail in or away, sort of into the legs of Jeet Raval.
Oh, I thought he could have gone up bigger than that because Raval did that little split of the leg as if to say, I don't want you to look at that too closely. It's the right decision, but normally a fast bowler gets into it more than that. That bit swing for Hamish Bennett, that's a good sign for him.
Yeah, Bennett demonstrating why he's in the Black Caps setup in the T20 game. Lots of tools in the toolkit. Jeet Raval unable to make contact with that one. Hit him on the front front pad as he took it up on one leg to pull it.
Yeah, Jeet Raval, I mean, he can be a very good white ball player, very good 50-over player. What he needs now, in his first game of the Dream11 Super Smash, you just need to get one out of the middle. You just need an early boundary just to settle the nerves. You look up, none off two. And is it an inside edge? I think it hit the trouser. I think that's not out, and that's a very good decision based on what I can see from 150 metres away.
No, I think you're absolutely on the money. Umpire Parlane agrees with both of us. It did sound a little bit kind of fabric-y. Top of the thigh pad, probably.
That's a wonderful decision. It really is.
If he'd had far wide alarms, thigh pad, might have been a different story. I'd have gone for 4.
Tim Parlane, excellent decision. I know they get rough time umpires, but that's a beauty, really is. There's so many reasons why you can give that out. Doesn't take away from this. Is a very good over from Hamish Bennett. He's got that one, Raval. Is it in the gap? Oh, brilliant. Young husband out there on the boundary. Saves 2. 1 over gone. 3 for 1.
The young husband setting the tone for the field. This is exactly how the Firebirds will want to operate as a unit. Jeet Raval gets quite a bit of that, and the young husband, full commitment, cuts it off, puts it back in after what felt like the longest first over in the world.
Yeah, that's what Hamish gives me grief about, is I time his overs. But yeah, Peter Younghusband, he's that good a fielder that when New Zealand used to have a sub fielder, they used to ask for him and he'd travel with them.
Can you do that?
Well, they used to release the 12th and 13th man to go and play domestic cricket, so in the test matches, whereas now it's changed because of the concussion rule and a replacement. It's like for like, you don't have that, but you have a big part to play with the ball. One of the form bowlers in the Dream11 Super Smash. His leg spin. Logan Van Beek. Again, another one, slip in place. Lots of variations, but he also bowls that hard length.
Good start there by Van Beek. Part of this fairly impressive seamers cohort here at the Firebirds.
Just make me wonder, you've got Tim Seifert, who's about to face the first ball, the second over, they're 3 for 1. I'd really like him to be facing the first ball. I want him to face the first over because he can set the tone.
If you have a power play, you've got 36 deliveries, don't you? And you want your most dynamic batsman to face as many of them as they can.
No timing there, but yeah, and I mean, you know, if he has a good first over and faces 5 balls, they could be on 20.
Particularly if the first over is a long one. And I know from opening myself, Tim Seifert will be a lot more patient than I was, but it can really start, you know, when there's a wide and a wicket, it's, you know, you feel like you've been there forever.
Yeah, and you've got to face your first ball at some stage. So you might as well be facing the first ball of the innings because the bowler's also bowling his first ball and he's trying to warm up. He's a bit nervous. But it's more the fact that he gets, like now, he's off strike. We're nearly going to be halfway through the second over and he's faced 2 deliveries.
Interesting hearing Will Bukowski interviewed after the test, and this David Warner gave him the option. He grabbed it straight in. Logan Van Beek will have to bowl that again. Yeah, I thought it was impressive from young Will Bukowski. David Warner gave him the option. He had to think about it and said, yeah, I want to get that done, get into it.
Yeah, I mean, in test cricket, 4-day cricket, if you're going to get out, you might as well get out early so the muffins are still warm when you get off and eat them. Struggling with his line here, Van Beek.
Yeah, and Tim Seifert looking like he needs some sort of bat repair. Maybe Hayley Jensen might be able to help him out. She's a bit of a dab hand. Otago Sparks. Looks like a wayward bottom of the grip there.
Well, you should have that taped. you should be taping the bottom of that so it doesn't roll up. And if your grip moves, you can see it's not quite even all the way around. That's what connects your hands to the bat. Never understood why people don't tape the bottom of their grips.
You one of them, Craig?
Boys, come on!
Yep.
Well, there's nothing more annoying than your kit failing yours there, so I have some understanding for that.
I mean, you know, some people glue their grips to their bat so they don't twist. You know, that's another option. I don't think Seifert has. Some people, underneath the grip, they take the string off the bat to make the handle skinnier.
Yep.
She's not quite getting in good positions at the moment, Seifert, just struggling a wee bit.
Again, back to the point about facing. There's someone who can get those cobwebs out of the way in the first couple of balls and you're away laughing. But, yeah, bats have become a science, haven't they?
Well, they haven't. It's really interesting. Like, if you go and get a set of golf clubs, and you go and play golf, they measure you. They measure the swing speed. Not sure. I don't know what that signal is. I've been around a long time. I really don't know.
Looks like he wants a plane.
You've got the glove signal where you do the fingers together. It's another wide. If you want to towel, you do them behind your back, up and down.
Or you just pop it on the back of your pants like Tom Blundell.
Tape is obviously you go round and round. I've got no idea what he's asking for there. But, you know, I'm talking about golf clubs. They actually measure golf clubs to your swing speed, your head speed when you're hitting the ball and all that. And cricket, actually, they don't. You just go in and pick up a bat and go, well, that feels really nice. But you don't know if it actually suits your swing or your back lift or how you hit the ball. That's a boundary. Much needed boundary for Jeet Raval.
Yeah, really well played here by Jeet Raval. Stands up nice and tall, full face of the bat, and just works it aerially but safely through mid-wicket onto the practice pitches. So no stopping it from there.
Yeah, and everyone's different. You're talking about Hayley Jensen in the Sparks, the White Fern. She loves talking bats, and she has her bats out and took a few home the other night, I think, to fix for a few of the Sparks players. Some people couldn't care less. They just pick up any old bat. It's another wide. Gee whiz.
Well, we're still not at the end of the second over. I feel like you and I have been here for a while.
We've talked a lot about bats. One player who would have one of them, have a lot of bats that you wouldn't expect is Neil Wagner. He brings probably about 5 to the ground, lines them up with his 8 pairs of gloves, 9 pairs of shoes. There's no room on the seat for him. Going to pick up another boundary, so it's been a really good over for the Knights. 14 off it, 2 gone, 18 for 1.
Well, I don't want to keep talking about bats, but Tim Seifert has just changed one. Maybe that's what the signal was. Bring out my 3-4 spares.
So that signal was to change bats. Normally you just wave your bat. Right, we'll move on from bat talk.
Over.
That is the end of the over. It's caught us all out. 18 for 1.
Yeah.
That was the boundary on what we thought was the last ball of the over, but there was still another ball to be bowled. So Jeet Raval will be feeling better about himself now. Really strange because they miscounted because Tim Seifert changed his bat. Then they went back and bowled the last ball. Well, we might try and head out tell you, someone who's enjoying his bats at the moment is Finn Allen. He's got the mic on.
Yeah, all good.
We'll head out there. Well, Finn, third 50 in 4 games. Congratulations. You're enjoying batting at the moment.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, for sure. I mean, wickets have been pretty nice, which always makes it a bit better for us. So, yeah, no, definitely having fun.
So James Neesham into the attack.
Ah, Jim.
Slow ball. So tell us, Finn, I mean, it looks like from up here you're very much ahead of the game. And when I say ahead of the game, I mean you actually look like you're just trying to predict what the bowler's bowling. And at the moment, the form's so good, you're catching up. Is that how it's happening out in the middle for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely try and stay one ball ahead of the bowler for sure. But, I mean, again, I've just been trying to get in that position and stay as still as I can, keep my head still. Yeah.
Finn, how are you enjoying the move to Wellington? I hear you've got a man cave somewhere near the Basin.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Really enjoying the environment with the guys and everything. It's been a really good move. Oh yes, Jim.
What's been good about it, Finn? Because we hear people, they leave where they grew up and played age group cricket, and I mean you debuted for the Aces. But what have you enjoyed about the move?
I think the guys have been really warming from the get-go. I suppose it made it easier that I'd probably trained and played a little bit with a few of them before, but yeah, they were just incredibly welcoming and made it really easy for me to sort of feel comfortable in the team and grow confidence. They've also shown a lot of backing in me, which has been really good for me as well in terms of confidence, so I feel like I can just go out and express myself.
Bit of movement here from Neesham. We've just been talking about bats. Finn, yours is going pretty well. How many do you have in your kit bag?
Yeah, it's been going all right. It's pretty broken at the moment, but...
You got a bit of tape on yours, haven't you?
Yeah, about half a roll of tape on it.
So what is it now? Well, 4 pound it weighs because of all the tape?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I usually go pretty light, but yeah, I mean, I changed up after the second game just because I wanted something a little bit lighter, but yeah, I usually carry maybe like 4 or 5.
Oh, top edge, fielder going back. It's going to be a tough chance and taken. Excellent catch from Gibson. And Rivali just got all tied up.
Rivali looks like he did get a little tied up, you're right. He got inside the line. Just probably almost edged it a little bit, and Gibson did very well there. You could see him running to get the speed to the ball was excellent, and then he set himself under it, and in the end it basically landed on him, but that's because of his positioning was so good. So Jet Ravala, after a promising little knock, needs to go for 10 of 10 balls, and the Knights 19 for 2.
Carter is the new player, and a lot of pressure on the Knights now, 19 for 2. So the Firebirds have been able to do with the ball what the Knights couldn't do, and that's pick up early wickets.
Finn, you talked about opting for a lighter bat. Do you find that helps your hand speed? Because your hand speed when you're playing, particularly even the reverse shot, seems pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think just with T20, obviously, I'm trying to hit the ball pretty hard, so a lighter bat just helps with that hand speed. I know some of the guys like to go a bit heavier, have a bit more behind the bat when they swing, but they're probably a bit stronger than I am, so they can afford to do that.
I reckon it's a great tip, and I hope the youngsters listen to that, Finn, because yeah, heavy is not always better, and you just talked about lighter helps you. I think it's a great tip. It's going pretty well for you too, so there's good resourcing behind what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought about, I've got a heavier one in there that I thought about going to, but just used it in the nets and just found that not late on the ball as such, but just wasn't quite able to jump on it as quick as I would like. So yeah, just sticking with the lighter ones for now.
19-2 off 3.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. You guys
No, I just ended the over. Yeah, it's a really important. I mean, when you look at your hand speed and being able to adjust with the bowlers. Tell us about the surface, because Dev said it was holding a little bit, but when you were playing, it looked like it was coming on pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the surface is definitely a little bit slower. A couple of their guys had a bit of pace behind them as well, which I think helped us at the start. Top 6 was definitely crucial for us. Probably the best time to bat in this game. But yeah, when they started to bowl their slower balls into the deck and stuff later on in the innings, it was pretty hard to get away.
I'm going to have to apologise to you, Finn, because just before you got out, unfortunately, I Googled hundreds in the Super Smash. So I'm sorry for doing that to you.
No, that's okay.
Well, mate, we appreciate your time. We'll try and catch up with you a little bit later on.
Perfect, sounds good. Cheers, guys.
Bennett starts another over. 4th of the innings. Joe Carter faces his first ball. Into the team today for Dean Brownlee.
Oh, what a ripper. I tell you what, we see some beautiful shots in the Super Smash. Wow, well, look at this delivery.
That was superb from Hamish Bennett. See if he put a little action on the ball when he let it go. But not much Joe Carter can do with that. Exactly what you need when you've posted a total and you're a senior bowler and bowling coach. Comes out like that.
Well, it just means he's missed a lot of cricket this year. The rhythm and everything's starting to click for Hamish Bennett. It's a really good sign when he starts shaping the ball away. But I'm going to go back to the point, Rebecca, is that now with 3.3 overs, so 21 balls have been bowled in this innings, and Tim Seifert's faced 6. If he faced the first over, he could have faced 6 by then. He's just out of the game at the moment. Over halfway through the power play, and he's got a strike rate of 50.
And every time, as he does now, he's got to take guard and sort of get your head back into the game. So these two need to kind of have one of those little periods where they're just rotating the strike as much as possible in between boundaries.
And that's my point. Look at the timing there. Just wonderful hand, strong position, and at ease.
He made this look easy, didn't he? Using the depth of his crease, easily beats the fielder. Scored a point. A welcome boundary.
And it's not criticising Tim Seifert as a player. It's just a tactical thing that sometimes, you know, they need to chase a big total. And at the moment, Tim Seifert's in a reactionary mode. Whereas if he faces the first over, he's proactive, he's in charge, he's the boss. He hits the first ball or 2 for 4. Just like that, on the practice pitches. Oh, bobble, bobble. That just shows you want that style of cricketer to be facing as many deliveries as he can.
Absolutely. And again, on this occasion, stands tall, hits it hard into the pitch, easily beats that fielder. I backed it to run across those practice pitches, but well fielded there. Particularly when you watch the opposition go nuts and end up with 75 with their power play. And why you always think, well, you've got more time than you think in cricket. That is your make hay time.
A single there, cover sweeper went back, so 8 off the over, 4 gone, 27 for 2. And the other thing is, he has the ability to hit good balls for 4. So he just bats normally. We saw Kateni Clark charge the first ball and swing wildly. Tim Seifert might have faced that. He stands still. He would have uppercut it probably for 4 or 6 because of where it was, because he just bats normally. Then after 3 balls, he might make an adjustment and say, right, I've got to shuffle down or I might go outside. But he's faced the 3 balls. The other thing is he might hit the first 3 balls for 4 and he just said, I'm going to keep batting.
Absolutely, and I think he realises that himself now. Probably hungry for the strike. Not going to say he's a strike hog, but there was a handy single for him at the end of the over. Get back on.
Perfect, and it's playing the game. Exactly right. And I mean, Conway said his job was to feed, not so much because he still hit boundaries, but he said was to support Finn Allen, talk to him. James Neesham got plenty of swing in that first over. That was a cross-seamer.
There it is again, and Tim Seifert couldn't quite catch up with that. Bit of bounce there from Neesham as well. Just out of Seifert's reach. Good use of width.
Straight up, who's got it? Mid-wicket coming in, and down. Devon Conway, he's used to having the gloves on.
Oh, it's one of those ones you just cannot think about again, can you? It's just Devon Conway, a very good fielder, all-round cricketer. As you say, he's had the gloves on, gives them back to Tom Blundell today. I think he'd still back himself to take that. But Tim Seifert, yeah, false shot there. Jimmy Neesham deserved a wicket there. Almost a bit too easy.
Well, it was interesting because it looked like for a minute went right up, and Neesham pointed to Conway to say yours, because I wonder if he thought it might have gone straight up, and it was someone like Neesham's. Still got underneath it, and a very good fielder. Yeah, having the gloves on, probably not used to the bare hands as much. Top edge, fly over. That's again, just about to say with that boundary that Seifert was fighting the bounce, trying to hit forward of the ball. We saw it, and Allen did it really well. Use the pace of the ball, use the bounce.
Yeah, this is tough to watch as a bowler when you've just had a catch like that go down, isn't it? Edge to the boundary. But really good point. Tim Seifert would say he did that on purpose. Here he goes again. Yeah, just trying to muscle that bounce. Didn't get all of it. Neither did Conway.
There was just a delay. There was just a delay. And when they go straight up, really high, if you're confident, you'll catch with like your fingers above your eyes, like that reverse cut. You do normal cut. But there was a pause where Conway didn't come forward, and that's when Neesham pointed. Watch Neesham. There, and then he ran in. Never quite got set. Oh, here's another one. I'll tell you what, the keeper's got this. He's got the gloves on. He won't make any mistake, and Neesham gets his reward.
Full over for Neesham. That was Joe Carter. Put that one in the air. Tom Blundell successfully hung on to it. Oh, it is Seifert. Definitely Carter. Looking to work it on the onside. Ended up showing the edge of the bat. It went straight up in the air. Tom Blundell gratefully accepts that. Joe Carter has to go. 5 runs, 32 for 3.
skipper walks out the bat, Anton Devcic, and really interested to see the style of play that he brings out. He's their form player in this competition with the bat. Got 100, helped win the game in the last one at Seddon Park against the Stags. But he's going to have to do a heck of a lot here, and he's going to have to try and change momentum. He talks about being fearless. He talks about being carefree. Neesham doing a really good job with the ball. Wonderful figures, 2 overs so far for James Neesham. He's got 2 for 6, 32 for 3.
Yeah, Jimmy Neesham showing his experience here. Could have had 2 in the over. Easy catch there for Blundell. Neesham backing up after 2 for 23 in the last game. Really handy when you're defending even a small total, but Firebirds have a decent one on the board, and the difference is in the wicket columns at the moment on the comparison.
Yeah, there is no comparison. 62 for that loss. Wellington were after 5 overs.
Devcic needs a good old-fashioned captain's knock, whatever that looks like in a T20, but probably needs to be here for most of the remaining 15 overs if the Knights are to haul this target in, as does Seifert.
Yeah, I suppose he's looking at it and saying, right, we need 10 and over. And he believes he can get 10 and over, Tim Seifert. So it's not out of control by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and he talked about wanting players to take the game on, and that's how he plays and how he captains. And 10 and over isn't undoable.
Call us 2, they'll do well to get back. Seifert's quick. Oh, it's a terrible throw. That's probably will go down as one of the worst throws of the Super Smash. Young husband, I'm going to give him the benefit. He look at the spikes. Yeah, I would too.
You're giving him a rap about his fielding expertise. To be fair, he's an excellent ground fielder, and when you lose your wheels out from under you, it makes that hard. We've seen a couple of rolled ankles today, and they were lucky not to have another one there.
Gee, he was lucky not to lose a hip.
It's pretty steer stuff, that.
Oh, I got away with it. This is a dance move, isn't it? On the dance floor.
Yeah, some hip-hop sort of right there, yep.
Wow. Talking about spikes, I was actually... Dream11 toss. Hamish Bennett was out. And his boots, and it'll be interesting if we can get a picture of him standing where he is. His whole sole is full of spikes. Look at that, the whole sole.
Played for a single by Seifert. You often, I'm not sure if it still happens anymore, but players will buy the shoes they like and then get a leather sole put on them with the spikes in it. Interesting for a bowler to do that, though.
Yeah, and I don't know if they are bowling boots or not, but the whole sole is just full of spikes. And they're 14 mils. So just, I mean, when fast bowlers come in and say, we're slipping, well, put more spikes in your shoes. That's what Hamish Bennett and Brett Lee used to do the same. He used to put spikes down the side of his boots. I think it was after he bowled about 4 or 5 beamers.
That's well bowled by Van Beek. Didn't you face Brett Lee's fastest over? Well, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, I was moving like I had spikes stuck in the ground that day. 160.8, Rebecca, and he was swinging it away.
Better than swing it in, probably.
Good point, yes. The rule was Stephen Fleming on a bouncer, open the batting Napier. If he bowled a bouncer, would run because the keeper was so far back. In the air, but it's going to fall short. 6 overs gone. 36 for 3. And so Brett Lee was bowling. He just bowled one at 160.8. I was hoping for a bouncer so we could run. I walked down at Stephen Fleming and he just looked at me and went, not happy. And he was sitting on his bat. And at the end of the day, Flem was captain. What Flem said went, and I said, okay. The worst thing is they had a big TV screen there that came out with the speed after each ball. And then they had Michael Clark and Andrew Simons, as you can imagine, pointing cover. Right, big moment of the game. Peter Younghusband, again, another form bowler in this competition with his leg spin. They'll need to go after him if they want to be successful in this chase.
He's a quality spinner, Peter Younghusband, and we saw when Joe Carter came on. Sorry, Joe Walker came on. That made a difference. Pace. So Firebirds will be hoping for the same as Katie Martin replaces Craig Cumming, who's gone to ring Stephen Fleming again. Devsich, that's how he plays. Take the game on, he says. It's exactly what he does there. Deposits Peter Younghusband over the mid-wicket boundary for 6.
Wow, it was a hallmark of Devsich innings in New Plymouth, and he's just continued that on. Looked like the wrong in from Younghusband, but that's been dealt.
Oh, that's good.
But wide Younghusband again, Devsich, it's hard. Just a single though, down to mid-off. Let's have another look at this 6. Yeah, down on one knee, just gets under it. Says, can't let you get on top of me, Mr. Younghusband. Seifert this time hits through the covers, same area of the field. It'll be fielded, coming back for 2, pushing the runs hard, these two.
Well, they're up around that 11 runs and over needed. We talked about the big pockets in the ground. 2s are effective here if they can double up those singles, and it's been a really good over so far from Younghusband.
Oh, that's nice.
Against Younghusband, sorry, 10 off this.
You're good here, boys.
You've seen spin, like you say, Rolsey, being so effective so far in this game. So if they can take Younghusband for a few, then puts pressure back on the Firebirds.
Oh, that's good.
Seifert
Let me down,
cuts powerfully, but just for 1.
That's nice.
That's the end of the 7th over. Knights 47 for 3.
It's a bit of a contrast, isn't it, between innings. Wellington 75 for none off their power play. ND struggling a wee bit, 36 for 3. So Firebirds are on top here. See Finn Allen and Devon Conway got off to a great start. They're looking to build a partnership. If these two can bat out the next 7 or 8 overs and have a batter in at the end, then it gives them the best chance to win this game. But there's a long way to go.
It has to be what the Knights are doing, isn't it? They know that pace makes it even harder when you take it off to score. So they're like, we're going to take these spinners on. They've also got Ravindra to deal with probably at some stage. Seifert again.
This team.
Just
Wait
pulls.
there. Lovely try.
Bracewell back into the attack.
Come on, lads. Go for it, lads. Come on.
Straight up in the air from Devsich, who's under that. Makes no mistake.
Oh, Bracewell, the captain, brings himself on, and second ball, he's got a wicket. Push that one wider. Just out of reach of Divisic. Couldn't get the pace as he wanted. It's high in the air and easy catch from Johnson. Divisic has to depart for 8, 48 for 4, the Knights. Setner, he comes in. Rosier probably not happy start with his bowling, but he's very, very talented batter, and he's a good all-round player, both for the Knights and also the Black Caps. Good innings here. Continue with that left hand, right hand combination.
Yeah, for sure. He always likes a challenge. Yeah, Mitchell Santner will A, need to stay in, but B, probably enjoy this challenge. I think he always likes a bat. And there's certainly some work for him to do today here. His team are to run down this score. Young husband continues. It's worked into the onside by Seifert.
There's that wicket. It was probably going to be a wide, I think, if he'd left that alone. It was just outside the reach, and I've seen a few of those top edges today that have just flown in the air. Easy catch.
Sign of that sticky wicket, isn't it?
Well, now I know what that is.
Come on, Beastie. That's nice, Beast. That's
Bracewell.
nice. Yes. Try.
Tight bowling, but unfortunately just down a little bit in the field there.
One more, boys. Come on.
Interesting, Bracewell's gone for
Go
himself
halfway.
over Ravindra. I guess he's got options, and he's worked. He's got a wicket.
Yep.
Seifert works this one into the leg side as well.
Run him out. Lovely, Troy.
Such a good all-round bowling options, Wellington. We've got the experience of Hamish Bennett,
Come on, lads.
James Neesham in the Black Caps, but also some really good spin option.
Catch it!
Yeah. Oh, yes. Bracewell gets another one. Santner, unfortunately for him, lean back, trying to put it through the covers, straight into the cover fielder's hand.
Well, that's not the way they wanted to end the 8th over. Flatter, short delivery, hair in the wicket, Johnson easy catch. Santner has to depart. 51 for 5 at the end of the 8th.
See what's happening, yeah?
Brett Hampton, new batsman to the crease with a lot of work to do after Mitchell Santner departed after a short stay. Michael Bracewell, very successful over from him, 2 wickets, and Ravindra into the attack, carrying on with the spin theme because it's working. 51 for 5 at the moment, the Knights chasing 186. Ravindra, a bit of turn away. By the look, Seifert chases it, manages to squeeze it back with a point for a single.
Oh, but potentially it's just slowed even more, this wicket, and just holding up a bit. Batsmen struggling to get their timing. Hampton's got a big job to do here for the Knights.
Ravindra a little bit more turn away again. Look at the slow pace of that. Seems like it turned and slowed all at the same time. Brett Hampton's a good player, good all-rounder. As we say, he'll have to be very good today.
Easy here, boys, not easy.
Bring Tim Seifert onto strike. Yeah, just chopping that into the ground. Such a sign of slow pace of the wicket.
Oh, that's
Seifert
nice, Jim. That is
straight down the line this time, no run.
Good, boys.
Ravindra happy, just keep things simple. No pace on the ball. Oh, that's straight up in the air, but will fall safely. Tim Seifert breathes again. Goes for the sweep shot.
This bang.
Just gets a top edge.
How many top edges have we seen today, both off the pace and off the spin? It's probably a sign of that ball just stopping in the wicket, meaning the batsmen are catching the edge of the bat, just struggling to find that timing. It's often you see that many top edges, is it, Rosie?
That's a cleaner hit from Tim Seifert, still only B1. Yeah, definitely a sign of the slow pitch and just the contact on the ball. Craig talked earlier about turning the wrists a bit early or at all. Probably not a day for that. Hampton this time punches it out into the cover for a single. End of Ravindra's first over. 6 off it. And end of the 9th over, 57 for 5.
Look, those last 2 shots were the perfect example of, on a slower wicket, you just want to let the ball come, play underneath your eyes. Whereas if you're feeling out to the ball with your hands, you just tend to catch that edge. The longer that Seifert stays here, better timing is going to be able to get. They're needing about 12s and over at the moment, so they'll be having discussions. They can't really afford to lose a wicket, but they also can't really afford to get too many dot balls, so potentially it's attacking that first ball of Bracewell's over.
Oh, yes, nice.
Unfortunately not, well, for the Knights. Unfortunate for them not attacking that ball. It's a dot ball. The youngest fans here at the Basin. Just loving the cricket. Bracewell comes in again. Hampton working him into the onside.
Yes, PY, yes, PY. Go on, you boy.
Young husband does the fielding on that occasion and whips it in.
Well, start them young. I don't know where the ball is though, Rosie. Get the ball in the hands, hand-eye coordination.
Well, Seifert launches that one, makes his own pace for sure. And straight into the bank. Let's wait and see if that was taken. No one's looking too happy with themselves.
Well, we said that wee baby needed a ball and it was on the way. Brilliant shot, short delivery, faster pace, and Seifert has tried to whack that into the tunnel.
Goes wide this time, Bracewell. Seifert helps himself to a single out to deep cover.
Boys, it's all on Timmy here, boys. It's all on Timmy, lads.
No, couldn't do it. Set himself well.
Catch it, catch it.
To Hampton. This time he's in on the action. Oh, what a catch. What a catch. Logan Van Beek. You will not see a better catch than that too often at the Basin Reserve. He's done that here before, Caddy.
What is going on out there? Logan Van Beek. He is absolutely getting mobbed from Conway and his teammates. We've seen him patrol that area year after year and some brilliant catches. Wow, just watch this. Good speed, and he's got it. Oh, right hand stretched out. Unbelievable catch, Logan Van Beek. I don't think he can believe that himself.
Absolutely not, and neither can Brett Hampton, who thinks he's got every bit of that, but he has to go for 3. Seems very unfair. 65 for 6 the Knights.
Oh, Rosie. I don't think you'll see a better catch all summer than that one. Logan Van Beek, we've seen him catch many deliveries out there. It's gone away, away, away. He's got it. Oh, he's just got in the middle of the palms. Unbelievable.
Craig Cummings told us that's Van Beek corner, and I think he put a plaque up about now. Everyone wants his autograph. Bracewell tries to continue.
Oh, that's nice.
Seifert plays it back to him. Dot ball. End of an over with about the most amazing catch you'll ever see. End of the 10th, 65 for 6.
Watch in.
Oh, Kugeline's the new batsman to the crease. Ravindra to continue.
Oh, yeah.
Big turn.
Well, Logan Van Beek, he's known for his fitness. Played for Canterbury a few years back and he ran the yo-yo test. It was a standard test, 20 metres out and back.
Oh, good, Chinny.
Ravindra carries on. Another dot ball.
Boys, come on.
And as we see another replay of that catch.
Oh, Beastie!
Kugeline plays into the covers. Well fielded again by Bracewell.
I'll have one more. I'll continue my fitness chat in a second. You see that just fade away. It's just the timing of the dive. Stretched hand. He couldn't believe it. I'm sure the crowd joins that corner just to see some of those catches. Yeah, so he ran the yo-yo. I'm not sure what score he got, but he didn't. It's about a level 21 where you can...
Playing a miss from Seifert. Turn from Ravindra.
You clock the yo-yo. So he had a break, 10-minute break. They had two separate groups and he said, I want to go again. It's obviously your maximal effort. So you meant to get your maximal effort the first go. He had another go. Second time round, clock the yo-yo.
Oh, Seifert this time up in the air. Oh, you're almost disappointed when that doesn't go to hand. There's a Bracewell out there. Tried to do the same sort of heroics. Keep up with Van Beek. He's probably about a metre away.
Come on, boys.
Well, I think he's just chucked a dive out there and hoped. No, not quite good enough braces. Swap you out, mate. Get Logan in there.
Oh, yes.
Hammers it down to mid-off for a single. Ravindra ends pretty good over.
Right.
Only 3 off it. End of the 11th. 68 for 6.
I mean, why would you want to run the yo-yo again? I mean, most people don't even want to run it once, let alone twice.
No, that's a horrific test. I've done it a few times and certainly got nowhere near 21, that's for sure. First or second time, or ever. I mean, how fit do you need to be to play cricket? That's what everyone says. That's wrong. You have to be very fit, children. Concentration, very important.
Well, back in the day, we used to do the beak test, and it used to be on a cassette tape.
Come on, Beast.
And the more the cassette got used, it got stretched, so the beaks were longer.
Kugeline goes after Bracewell, and that's taken. Devon Conway hangs on to it this time. Hangs on to the tough one. Kugeline has to go.
Oh, Michael Bracewell, he said easy as you like. And it's his 4th wicket, 4 for 12 in his 3rd over. Some nudes off spinners around. He's tried to get up and under that. He sliced that Down to Conway, easy catch this time for Conway. Kugelijn has to depart for 2, 68 for 7, deep trouble for the Knights.
Devon Conway redeems himself a little bit after dropping what he would consider probably a dolly in the covers, straight up and down. Takes a much harder one. And 7 wickets down, it's looking tough from here.
Yeah, it's been interesting, isn't it, in both innings. We saw Wellington get off to such a good start and then lost 72 for 7 in the last 10 overs, and the Knights in the last 5 overs, 31 for 4, going at 6 and over, so been a difficult period.
When you're chasing 186, which is decent, but it's not out of reach, yeah, you can't keep losing wickets. You just can't get any momentum. So Zach Gibson, he'll be trying to do differently.
Slowly, boy, just so slowly.
It's quite a docile
Right there.
delivery and shot just for one after all the action lately. Let's have another look at this wicket here.
He's just pushed that wider. Kugelijn looking to play it straighter and slice that one out.
Keep going, boys, keep going.
Oh, Seifert not having any of this. He keeps going. Oh, nearly into the young husband. He's had a go at it as well, but probably was a little bit further away and out of his reach. 6 runs to Tim Seifert.
It's a great option from Seifert. Ball just coming into his pads. Good swing of the bat. Surely we're not going to see 2 out that way, are we? Surely not.
Seifert goes again. Here's the chance. Up in the air. Oh, he's dropped it. That was the chance, Katie, to really impress you.
Well, I said surely not, and it hasn't happened. We have 5 wickets for Bracewell. Slowed the pace up. Another top edge. Oh, young husband. He would have banked on catching that one. Hard hand straight out. Here's Van Beek.
Wider again goes Bracewell. Seifert just with contempt straight into the scoreboard. Well, probably across the road over mid-off.
Well, I think that's someone back there collecting their McDonald's. They may as well collect the ball as well. That is out the ground. Yeah, Tim Seifert, he's got all of that clean out the ground. You imagine you're driving around the Basin, the biggest roundabout in the world, and this ball just flies while you're waiting at the lights.
Yeah, the old Toyota Camry was in danger there as they hunt down a ball that replicates the one just got deposited into Adelaide Road.
Well, we'll see a hurry of kids, I tell you. They've seen the ball out there and they're hurrying out to pick up the ball. It's a good memento from this game.
Bracewell going at 4 for 27. Finishes is over.
Oh, that's good.
Seifert just helping himself to a single so he can be on strike for the next over. End of the 12th. Knights are 84 for 7. Well, some average reading there for the Knights. Tim Seifert, the one shining beacon, literally. Other than Raval, he's the only one in double figures so far. 48 off 35 balls. And after that, not too much to talk about. Neesham and Bracewell doing the damage. The Firebirds, Ravinja to continue. Pushes it wide. And Seifert drives through the covers. Should pick up 2 here.
Well, for the Knights to get anywhere near close to the score, Seifert's going to have to face a chunk of those overs. As he brings up another 50, scoring runs for fun at the moment. Tim Seifert, really good batting. Just that one chance, but he's pushed on nicely.
Oh, that's good, Rach. Right hand, Shin.
Ravindra keeps it tight right into the toes of Seifert. Not much he can do with that.
Love that, Chinny.
Puts it wide again. Slight bit of turn away. Just giving Seifert the single into the covers. He'll need more than that though.
Yeah, obviously it's a longer boundary, about 70, 72 metres out that way, so just pushing it wider to try and restrict the boundary on the leg side. Really smart bowling from Ravindra.
Gibson on this occasion uses his feet, plays it firmly through the covers just for the single. Another slip. These guys might need to put some football boots on.
I bet you what Craig Cumming would be sitting in the back of the commentary box saying, I bet you's only got half spikes on there, and I think I have spotted half sprigs there too.
Goes a reverse, makes contact.
Nice, Ben, nice, Ben.
Seifert. Only the single.
He does, doesn't he? Half spikes.
Look a bit worn down. That might be the problem. Just push them a little bit too far. Need to replace them. Ravindra to Gibson. Just a single into the covers to end the 13th over.
Nice boy.
Which brings the Knights to 90 for 7.
Well, this is a 50 from Tim Seifert. He's played all around the ground. A couple of huge sixes into the crowd.
Catch it.
And that one out the ground. He's held this innings together for the Knights. Really good batting.
Good day at the cricket. A successful day so far from the Wellington point of view. James Neesham 2 for 6 off 2 overs.
Good Pete, real good Pete.
Oh, Katie, I've watched a lot of cricket. I've played a bit. Commentated for a while, and I reckon that's as good a catch as I've ever seen from Logan Van Beek. Van Beek corner, I call it. The last year in the Super Smash final, he took 2 rippers down. They're different style. He jumped over the boundary, flicked them back. But this one here, most people wouldn't have even got there. And then to throw in the full dive, full speed. Seifert up and over cover.
What would you say is the key position in men's cricket in terms of T20? Doesn't matter, mid-wicket. I mean, I know in the women's game, mid-wicket's where you typically put your best fielder. Doesn't matter too much?
No, because it depends on the plans and what's going on. Some positions are harder to field than others. Square leg, I reckon, in that position is one of the hardest ones, because the ball can come. You don't get the same feeling. It can come flat. It could be so you got to come into it. You got to make judgment. Do I hold? When you're at long on, long off, while they're very important, you have a moment where you can just judge to see whether you can make that decision of, do I go in, do I hold? But square leg's the tough one, I reckon, even inside the ring or out on the boundary. Just there too. It helps when you've got massive hands, because Michael Bracewell does, and he takes a tough catch and makes it look simple, and Seifert's gone.
He's just tried to force that over mid-off. Tim Seifert. Bracewell, he's got no mistake there. Really good hands. Seifert departs through a well-made 53. Knights 93 for 8.
At the end of the day, Katie, there's nowhere really in T20 you can hide, is there, when it comes to fielding. And you've got to be an athlete, you've got to be able to run, you've got to be able to throw, you've got to be able to catch. Michael Bracewell's got massive hands, so the ball will look tiny in his. Big advantage. James Neesham now has got the figures of 3 for 9 of 2.4. So you look at this game and you look at Dream11 game changers, this bowling performance will be in consideration.
Well, the thing with Jimmy Neesham is he bowls those tough overs, doesn't he? He bowls in the power play, and as Joe Walker comes out to face James Neesham, Michael Bracewell 4 for at the moment.
No.
Or do you then give it to the catch of Logan Van Beek? I'm not sure if it was a game changer, but I'll tell you what, it was a brilliant, brilliant piece of work.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I never thought I would be talking about Michael Bracewell being in the conversation as a game changer with his bowling, in all due respect to Braces. He's got a smile, and why wouldn't you? The captain of a side that's looking like going for 4 from 4 and being dominant. Fourteen overs gone, 95 for 8. And Michael Bracewell 4 for 28. Interesting when you compare things, Katie. Someone who gets 75 off 40-odd balls in a T20. How does that rate to someone who's got 3 for 11 in a game that's normally dominated by the bat?
Well, it is a very interesting question. They usually say 3 wickets in a T20 game is equivalent to a 5 for, and a 75 is equivalent, or I think 70 or 80 plus is equivalent to 100.
Ravinger. That's a lovely shot into that cover region. There'll be a boundary.
Yeah, it's a good area to hit the ball going away. But I guess I would look at Wellington batted first, scored 186 straight away. That puts pressure on the second team chasing a score like that. So do you say it's the batters setting up the game?
That's off the gloves. Yeah, I would, without a doubt. But then you've got to defend it. Yeah, 3 wickets, normally maybe equivalent to 5. But if you've got 3 for 55 off 4 overs, well, you know. But in saying that, Michael Bracewell's got 4 for 28. Big thing for Neesham in his 3. He's got number 2, number 3, and number 4 out.
Down base.
Yeah, it is the quality of the batters that you get out, isn't it? If you get in the top order out, which we know the bulk of the runs in T20 cricket has to come from the top 4 or 5 for the team to be successful. So it's a really good outing for Jimmy Neesham.
Catch it, beast. Oh, hold on.
Well, but Michael Bracewell, of all the international players, he's got 3 of them out. Dev Sitch has played before, Satnap, Kugelheim, and then got Hampton. So luckily I'm not picking it.
I was going to say, who are you choosing? Because there's a bit of fence sitting there, Craig.
Yeah. Umbrella, please, Pete.
I'm a batsman. I enjoy watching batting. But I think James Neesham's 3 wickets today have been the game changer. So I'm going James Neesham at the moment. Chance there, Oh, Bennett come forward, he did. Wow, late judgment. But he got there.
Well, he said thumbs up. I've had this, and a bit of late movement. The 9th wicket has to go. Hamish Bennett all over that one. Gibson departs for 9, 103 for 9, end of the 15th.
Good win this is going to be for the Firebirds, and gee whiz, they go 4 from 4. So really, when you look at it, they're only 2 wins outside the playoffs. Normally 6 will get you in, 7 guaranteed, and 7 can often be enough to get you the top qualifier. Only their 2nd home game for the Firebirds, so 3 more to be played here. The Knights, they go 1 from 5, so they're going to need a really strong run home for the back end of the Dream11 Super Smash. They've played 3 games at home. Rachin Ravindra's bowled his 4 overs, 1 for 22. Good day at the office with the ball. Hamish Bennett, his job is to clean it up. Yeah, I think the figure's like 3 for 9, 3 for 10. And you know, you could easily go for 15 off your first over. And I know Michael Bracewell has picked up 4, and Braces won't mind me saying that James Nish's wickets maybe set up his ability for his 4. But that's only my opinion, and from him, yeah, Finn Allen played brilliantly well.
Yeah, well, he set up the innings, didn't he? They 75 off the power play. I mean, that's a high score I've seen for a long time in the power play. Put Northern on the back foot early on. It's a hard one, isn't it? We had those discussions at the Test match as well. Do you give Kane Williamson the player of the match, or Kyle Jamieson, who got 11? It's pleasing for so many people in this Wellington lineup to be performing. Been impressive, Wellington, just with their change of pace. We probably would have seen about 70–80% of their deliveries actually off pace, which has made Northern have to do the work, and very, very smart bowling from Wellington.
Well, it's the reason why they won the competition last year, and it's because, yes, they could score runs, but their bowling attack were the smartest, and they were able to execute, and that's what put them ahead of the group. It could be all over, and is all over. A comprehensive victory, and rightly so that Michael Bracewell takes the final catch, because he has had a big influence in this game with the ball and as a captain. And Hamish Bennett, he's bowled beautifully as well. So
yeah, he's just tried to force that over the offside. Like you say, Craig, Bracewell, well, he's in the game. Really great performance from Wellington here. Clinical. It's what you'd expect from this Wellington lineup.
excellent display, excellent display. They're back at home. They are the top of the table, and there's smiles all round, and rightly so. After being asked to bat first too, they made their way through to a very competitive total of 185, and they've been able to bowl with smarts, execution and skill. And they've bowled the Knights out for 105. That means they're ridden by 80 runs.